All right, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, as we are here on our Sunday morning tradition that continues on here in our 14th season. It's week number 5 of the NFL, and boy, it is something to be ready to rock and roll about. And that being said, Cuervo was a little late getting me what I needed for my background. So we're going to stick. Well, actually, mark that. I made my own, but it didn't have all the games on it. But I got mine all set. And did I do it? Yep, there it is right there. So it's week number 5. I don't know. Maybe I do have all the games. Oh, gosh, what about the Bears on? How about that? Kicking it in there. Yeah. So that being said, it is week number 5 of the NFL, and let's go ahead and bring him on in as soon as I can find his button. Push the button for him. Anyway, it's going to be a long morning. I can already tell. Especially having this guy on. It is that time. Podfather. Good morning, my friend. How you doing?
Do not talk to me about pushing buttons right now, okay? My button's been pushed to the extreme after last night. I am beyond pissed off, and well,
I was gonna go out and catch the show. It just wasn't feeling very well last night. I'm still trying to kind of get.
I'm not feeling well now, okay? Okay, after what happened last night.
What happened last night?
Okay, so last night, me and Gabe XL, we've agreed, you know what? He wants to do things on his own. I'll be free and clear of him, let him do his thing. He went through not just one guy, not through 2 guys, but 3 guys. He went kind of nuts. So I climbed in the ring to say, hey, look, calm down, big man. I got you. He wanted answers. He wanted the reason why I never pushed him to the top of the rankings. Well, first of all, he was a tag team wrestler at the time. He was our champion. We were forced to face tag teams coming into SOAR. I couldn't push him as a single star until he didn't have the belt anymore. Well, SOAR made sure of that when they stripped the SOAR tag team titles off of us because they had no competition for us. Now there is no SOAR tag team champions anymore. So then all of a sudden, okay, fine, they put us in the OIWA tag team championship thing. They reinvent the system on that as well. They insert another tag team that was not on the contract. They win the titles that night, and he's pissed about that. So he takes it out on me, and next thing I know, Nate the Great shows up.
I saw the video.
Whatever. Nate the Great shows up. I'm glad you're laughing at this because I'm not finding it funny at all. He shows up, gets in my face, wants to throw that he's there, that he's going to show up there tonight because he wants to come back to SOAR to help it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let me explain something to Nate the Great. Every time you get close to doing anything at SOAR, you retire. You retire more than Terry Funk, okay? I'm sorry. You come in, you get what you want, you get beat, and guess what happens? You walk away. You hide. You retire for a little bit because maybe it got to be a little bit too lonely for you at the top. You couldn't deal with the pressure, and you got away from it.
Is that what it was?
Well, you tell me. He's come back not once, not twice, not 3 times. Now this is number 4. I don't know. I lost count after 2, really. So he comes back. Gabe aligns with him because apparently I've never held the SOAR heavyweight championship before. Well, I got news for you. I've been retired for a while. But I have helped people get to the tag team titles. I have helped someone get to the SOAR junior heavyweight championship. So I have helped people before. And by the way, Nate, I was going to help you keep the CKW champion back then. And I know you don't remember this, Nate, because you're, as you want to say, I abandoned you. Here's the thing. Before you went out to Arkansas to go defend that title, I came to you and I said to you, Nate, do you want me to go with you? And know what he told me, Sonny? You know what he told me?
No,
Brah. I got it. No problem. So he goes out there and he gets beat.
Who beat him, by the way? Laurentez? Did Laurentez beat him?
No, I think it was the future, AJ. So next thing I know, I mean, by the way, in this meantime, I'm calling CKW up. I'm calling Jason Maldonado. I'm saying, do you want me to? Can I come out to your show and help out? Just any way I can. He's like, no, we don't need you. Okay, fine, fair enough. So Nate goes out there. He gets beat by Jason Maldonado's son. Mm-hmm. How convenient is that? So what does the Podfather do? I reach out to AJ, and I coerce him into coming into the network.
Mm-hmm.
This is a shot to CKW. Now, Nate takes that as a slight to him. No. But here's the thing. Once Nate lost the title, guess what he did? He retired again. So all of a sudden, you couldn't reach Nate for anything. He wasn't taking anybody's calls. So what am I supposed to do? So I formed the network at that point. I brought in AJ. I brought in Gabe XL, Chris Irvin, and Elijah, and we all formed a great group together. We won tag team titles, Sword Junior Heavyweight Championship titles. Then next thing you know, Jason Maldonado and his wife decided to talk to their son finally, and probably offer him a car, which he can't even drive right now, and just all sorts of stuff, just to coerce him back into the family. So he leaves the network. And that's fine. I got what I wanted. I caused a rift at CKW, which is what I wanted to do. But now here's Nate the Great coming back to wrestling. And he wants to align himself with one of my guys because never mind that I grew these guys out from their shadows, okay? I raised them up. I raised their stock up just for sort of sit there and take them away. You know, last night, while I'm sitting there doing commentary, do you know what happened to Elijah? They made the Sword Junior Heavyweight Championship a 24/7 title. Now, because no one can beat him one-on-one, what do? They change the rules. They make it difficult for him and more difficult. And guess what? He lost the title. But then after Luke Justice beat him for the title, then Dynamo comes out and he beats him for the title. Then some guy sweeping the floor beat him for the title. Then he runs around. He gets knocked out by a guy at the door. He gets knocked out. Then Elijah clotheslines and gets the title back. So the Junior Heavyweight Championship is still on the network, but we have to go through so many loops to do all that because SOAR is being a very unfair promotion to the network. They want to bring back Nate the Great of all people. I'm hot, man. I'm so stinking hot about this.
I can tell it.
It's making me sick. I'm telling you.
This is total BS.
It just sounds like you had a rough night last night, man.
Funny, okay. I'm glad you're finding it very funny because you weren't there last night.
No, I wouldn't
happen to the network.
I find it that you
find the monkeys that find it funny. You find it. You're play little sound bites.
You well, I do love my sign.
You want to piss me off? What you're doing? Okay.
The blasphemy.
I don't know. It seems like you had a rough night last night, and I don't know. Maybe some football will make you feel better. I don't know. Jaguars are playing right now. You did know that, right?
Yeah, they're still over in London, aren't they?
They're in London taking on the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
Are they gonna get out of London?
Are they gonna what?
Are they gonna get out of London anytime soon?
I don't. That I don't know.
What's their record over there right now? Are they 0-1 I guess they go over there a lot more than just once a year, don't they?
Oh, Jaguars go out usually twice a year. They were there last week, and they're there this week, and taking on the Buffalo Bills. And that being said, it's one of those. I hate these games because I want them here. I want them right here, right now, and around here. So it's just one of those things where it's just one of those. Well, yeah. Now the Jaguars 2-2 and the Bills 3-1. This is an important game for both of these football teams. So I don't know. I don't know what the score is. Do you know what the score is? Well, I can find out real quick.
Yeah, I can find out.
Because I'm not near the TV that I can see it.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's say my computer is taking a very long time to load.
Okay,
So,
I got you.
There it is. Jaguars up 11-0. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't pick them. I picked Buffalo. Buffalo last week. What a game last week. It was one of those, head-to-head games where you wonder, who's going to win and why they're going to win. And I was one of two that took Buffalo, me and Tarvin. By the way, in the standings, I have to toot my own toot.
I know. You only lost 2.
I got to do it because hell, I don't know if it'll be there next week or the week after or ever again. But
we had a whole week of that, Sonny.
toot.
Okay,
I'm right there on the top, all by myself.
Yes,
not even with the Bryce with the one. Bryce has one more than what it says. I'm even ahead. Toot.
Yeah, you're 3 ahead of me right now. So
hey, what can I say? Huh? I'm like down in summer. Toot. Beep beep. Anyway,
you're not making me feel any better, Sonny. I'm telling you right now.
Well,
this lame football talk that you speak of is not helping me out right now.
Well, I can't. You're still
Why
fired
weren't
up.
you there last night? I had Robert Martin come up to me last night. Him and his dumbass hat come up to me and go, "Hey, where's Sonny at?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm not his keeper." I got Tony looking as dumb as he does come up to me and go, "Where's Sonny at? I don't know where he's at." I'm like, "Why do you talk like that?"
I didn't feel good. I didn't get a chance to let him because I told him I was gonna. I told him I was gonna come out, and I just didn't feel very.
You like
good
to let
at
people
all.
You know that you let people down a lot. You know, you're letting me down right now. I'm telling you.
Evidently, I just when I say I'm gonna show up, I have 4 people message, "Where you at, Sonny?" I was like, God,
hey,
just didn't feel very good. So I am going to try to make it out to next month's show. I'm going to try to make it.
Just preface it by saying I'm going to make it out, maybe. Then we don't know, So that's why I'm doing it.
I wasn't even going to say anything, but I thought I woke up feeling really good, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to the show tonight. This is going to be good." And then about 2:30, 3 o'clock, it's just. Took her away. But that being said, we are amongst week number 5 of the NFL. By the way, Jonathan Taylor signs his contract for the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously not going to be in action probably this week, but he signs his tender. If I'm not mistaken, about 14 million for him to get there and go from that. Now, I didn't necessarily know about the Lions injury. I don't know if you heard about it, but St. Brown, the wide receiver, is listed as doubtful in this game where the Lions are going to be in action, and that is not good at all for the Lions. So look out for that. So what do you think? What do you think about the Lions this year? Kind of
I'm impressed. I mean, clearly they're exceeding all the expectations. I mean, there were expectations given to them this year to begin with because of what happened last year, but obviously they're exceeding all that, and so kudos to them. I mean, they are. People are always talking. San Francisco, the Eagles, even the Cowboys, for that matter. But like the Lions are they're still. I mean, they're right there with them, but they're not being talked about because no one ever talks about Detroit. So, I mean, it'd be an anomaly if you ever did, because last time they talked about him, Barry Sanders played for him. So, I mean, kudos to them. Still think it's their year, but I mean, I think they're showing everybody that they're going to be a force. I think they're a bigger force to deal with than the Eagles, because the Eagles are ripe for the picking right now. How they haven't lost a game yet because they've had close ones. Hell, last week they went to overtime with the Commanders.
I think I agree with you to a certain extent, but when you're a football team listen, the Eagles lost a lot of players. I mean, I'm just kind of amazed how much they lost of what they lost, and for them to fight back into what they're doing it's, I find it amazing. By the way, everybody, as far as the picks are concerned for the Buffalo Bills, Team Impact's only one on the Jaguars, so he's on an island, just to let you know. But I think with as far as the Eagles are concerned, where they're at, what they're doing, what they're like, now they got to develop again. They got to go back and they got to figure out again what they are doing. And I for one, they're the toughest out. But when you're looking at the picks now, this week is a little bit different as far as Philadelphia is concerned. I looked at it and they're playing the Rams. The Rams aren't playing well, and out of the two, I'm going to go ahead and take probably look
Time
at
out.
game.
Time out. You're saying the Rams aren't playing well?
The Rams. Well, listen, they won some games that they probably shouldn't have won so far this year.
No, I think they're a lot better than we're giving them credit for. And you know what? And I'll be the first to say, I wasn't on their bandwagon in the beginning, but they're really looking a lot better than I thought they were. And I think the Eagles are right for the picking this week. I think they put a blemish on their record this week.
Well, we're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about all of them here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Cuervo is fashionably late, but he is traveling. He is in Tennessee. He was in Chicago. Oh man, if you don't have Cuervo on your Facebook, you see some of the great pictures of him. I was going to get them. I just woke up. I woke up so late. So it's portionally not feeling well from yesterday, but he has some great pictures on his Facebook page. Go check him out. He's got one where he's in a glove in Chicago, right there in front of it's really kind of cool. Plus some good stuff from Tennessee.
To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't find like a little sign to start the show off with a paying homage to Dick Butkus at the beginning.
Well, Dick and that's another big news. Thursday Night Football, Bears, Washington. And boy, did the Bears show up for Dick Butkus. I'll tell you right now. I was like,
pissed me off. I lost that game too.
Well, yeah, everybody except Baba Gazoo, my brother, DC Dennis Clark, was on Washington, and boy, they just put a bitch slap all over the Washington Commanders. So, interestingly enough, I almost just changed the pick, but last time, like an emotional thing happened for the Bears. It was Brian Urlacher's mother passed away, and they didn't show up, as far as that was concerned. But you're right, lost 6 players in that game. But in Dick Butkus' staff, I saw a quick video where he caught a touchdown pass, and the dude is so huge. And the guy that was guarding him had no chance, and he just handed the defender the football after he scored the touchdown. It was quite funny. I guess I found it probably more funny than most people did. But yeah, Dick Butkus, big loss, emotionally for football teams. For their football team, obviously Chicago Bears doing what they're doing. So that also being said. News going out, Kenny Pickett, get him and Matt Canada, they're button heads. I mean, they're button heads. And I saw Bryce. I hope he gets in here, because that's one thing. If you watched last year, Bryce was all over the fact that Matt Canada he's not a Matt Canada fan. And they showed it last week. I reluctantly picked the Steelers last week. I didn't want to, but that was a horrible performance for the Steelers last year. So that's something to keep a look at. Big games today. They take a look at my background. Some big games that are going on. One of them obviously being San Francisco. And I love this game, and I hope we see a lot of the 49er game today as they are taking on the Dallas Cowboys. That's Sunday Night Football, actually. So we will see. Yeah, we will see that whole game.
The bad thing is I requested today off from work just because we had where my place of business had their first concert this past Friday,
right?
And so
by the way, how'd that go? Who was it?
Aaron Watson.
Who?
Some Red Dirt country singer. So
Okay.
anyway, he did his thing. It was all right. I mean, I'm not for. I don't know what he sings. He sang a lot of halfway through the song. It's amazing how these singers do this now. Halfway through the show, he's going to stop down for the troops and get all the people. They got their phones on, their lights are on there, and they're all going, "Yeah, all right, troops, yeah." And and then he plays "Amazing Grace," followed by "Thunderstruck" from AC/DC. I'm like, I've never seen that before, ever. But whatever.
Hey, whatever works, right?
So I mean, it works for him. I mean, like about 30 minutes left of the show, he did like a medley of songs everybody's heard of. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Covers.
The venue's great. Of course, the acoustics in the place is fantastic. And for those who are interested in where I'm talking about, I can't say the name of the place here on this show because I'm not supposed to. Just say it's once you cross in Oklahoma, it's on exit 1. Just go from there on 35. So that's all you have to know.
What do you mean you can't? What?
I can't legally. I can't say the name on any social media thing. I can't do it.
Can I?
You can. I can't.
I forget the name of the place though. I know how to get there. It's a casino, like you said, on the outside of
it's the world's largest casino. People will know what that means.
I know it's Lucas Oil Stadium, where
Lucas Oil Live.
Yeah, Lucas Oil Live,
or as we all call it, LOL.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. But I mean, it's really cool. But I went from that to the wrestling show last night, and I was thinking I was going to stay home today. I had my holiday off for my Native American holiday off thing for my work, and it turned out they screwed that up. So now I have to go. Now I have it off on Wednesday as opposed to today. I was going to sit home and watch the Cowboy game, but now I'm going to be able to work and deal with it. So it is what it is. But also, I'll see most of it.
Well, I can say it. If I say it, will it get you in trouble because you're on it? Okay, it is okay. So what we're talking about is WinStar World Casino. It's got Lucas Oil Live there, and November 3rd for Beach Boys. So you're gonna work that day?
Depends. I mean, depends if it falls on the week that I have my son or not.
Gotcha.
Like next week, Gabriel Iglesias is going to be there, Fluffy, but I got my son that weekend, so I'll probably miss on him. I think
check out Smokey on November 18th. It's at DC. We got no picture. DC, is he in the? I see it in the green room, but I don't see the picture. I don't know if you have your camera on. It says the camera is not on, so I don't know, like if that is. So let me switch the outside to a 3 and see what's going on. Hey, DC, are you your picture's not there?
But can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know where. I think my camera is telling me that I should not be on.
Well, maybe you don't want to scare. Maybe you don't want to scare the children either. Coming across the screen, I don't know.
We can't all look like you, Sonny.
I know, man. I look. Oh, great
thank
today.
God for that. Thank God for that.
I look great today. I'm telling you right now.
Well, this way I can scratch myself and not have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, no, I won't go into CNN. This CNN dude was on a Zoom. Forget it. Anyway, all right. Yeah.
That won't be me.
Yeah, I'm glad so there's it. All right, so let's do this.
But not that bad.
Yeah, well, are you sure? I mean, you really gotta ask yourself, for you anyway. Anyway, today's game, Jacksonville. But I don't know. Let's hop into this this week, as this one here is an important game. One of the things, though, the Jaguars can't stop the run, and as far as what I've been watching a little bit, we're not seeing a lot of running attempts coming from Buffalo, so I'm wondering where that's coming from. But Buffalo last week played a good, solid defensive game, And everybody but myself and Tarvin, I think they were playing the Dolphins last week, weren't they, Podfather?
Yeah, it was in. It was
Yeah.
it was a game that we thought Miami was going to ride that momentum, and then they filtered out, and then Buffalo just played better.
Yeah. Oh, and defensively they were really good. That's the reason why I picked them more. So I was seeing more defense, even though Miami's defense was playing well on a consistent level. The biggest story last week is, would they be able to stop the passing attack that was coming from Miami? So I thought they would not have a problem this week at all with the Jaguars. I want the Jaguars to win. Don't get me wrong. I didn't pick them to win. Just more in the fact that I didn't necessarily know this game was in London. But I don't know if that would have been enough for me to change my pick in this one. We're seeing a lot of things from the Jaguars that, if you believed all the hype at the beginning of the year, you thought they would be in the freaking Super Bowl. I was hopeful for the Jaguars, but I didn't buy into it. And this is a game right here this week going up against the Buffalo Bills. If you're going to be that good, this is a game that you had marked on your schedule right there. Because if you're going to be a good football team, you got to beat one of the 5 that are on their schedule. This is one of the 5. If you're going to take that step from being a good football team to being a great football team, this is one you need to pull out. And right now they seem that it's 11-0, like I said. But that don't mean that they can hold that off in the fourth quarter. And that's one of the biggest problems right now with the Jaguars. And, your fourth quarter, you got to be there. You got to maintain the ball. You got to play consistent. And they haven't done it so far this year to where you're impressed. You see them go, man, they're about that close. They're about that close, Podfather, to be that football team and say hello.
I'm glad I've been on Josh Allen's I'm on his bandwagon for the longest time.
Yes.
I have not, but
I know I'm being facetious because you've been ragging them.
I have. You know what? After last week, I'm going to shut up about him because clearly he just got a slow start, and he's picked up his groove again. So he's done a lot better than the guy over for the Chargers, that's for sure.
Right.
But then again, that guy's got to deal with Kellen Moore's offense. Look, here's the thing, and I know the score's 11-0 right now.
Yeah, it's still early. I'm not worried about Buffalo right now.
It's early, but if I was Buffalo right now, I'd get out on the gas right now and step on it because that game can get away with you really quick. And 11 points becomes a mountain by the time the fourth quarter hits. You still got nothing on the board.
Not only that, but they're playing overseas.
That's all sports, though. I mean, like Major League Baseball likes to start their games in Japan now. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks just played a preseason game in overseas. So I mean, that's just American sports right now. They want to be a global front for everything. So the NFL, they've been tinkering with Canada. They tinker with. I mean, hell, for a while, Buffalo was rumored to be going to Canada.
Yeah.
But London was also. I mean, if you play John Madden football, if you want to relocate your team, going overseas to Germany or to London or wherever else, those are options they give you. I mean, you can't pick them yourself. They actually just give you random options. Right. So the idea of making the game more global is appeasing to them. I don't think that works so much for the fans because it takes you kind of away from it.
Oh, it does. It takes one home game away from Jacksonville because they go there 2 times a year. They take a home game away from them because they play as the home team over there and then a visitor.
But this is why they want to go to 18-game seasons, though.
Yes,
because they can take 2 games that are not really home games, put them over there, and then give those countries a full season of football games, and just to then of course you have your regular 8-8 home and away games.
Right,
not that fair. So.
Yeah. But the Jaguars have been doing this ever since they've been going to London. When they started, they got on that bandwagon. We'll do it. So it's kind of like a home game in reality for the Jaguars. But let me tell you something. When you looked at the numbers on this game, I mean, it's all Buffalo. I mean, scoring offense, they're second best in the NFL at 30, almost 35 points a game. Jaguars only scoring 30 or 20. And usually this game is about getting out in front, especially in London. Okay. When you get out in front in London, that's a really good thing for you. The Jaguars in the first quarter have only scored 3.5 points in the first quarter, and the Buffalo Bills are averaging 8.5. So you're looking at a field goal compared to a touchdown in the first quarter. Now, the Buffalo defense is only allowing 11 or 13.8 points a game. Jaguars are there right now, 11.5. Based upon the average numbers, they're done scoring based upon the Buffalo defense. However, the Jaguars, they're giving up 20 points a game. That's good for 12th in the NFL. That's one of the things that you're looking at as far as where they are. And that's defensively is about the only place where they really kind of stack up against the Buffalo Bills. But when points allowed, average points allowed, is in the third quarter is the only thing where the Jaguars are lacking when it comes to kind of a head-to-head kind of thing. Now, I don't know. DC doesn't jump into these games like I do. I know Podfather, at least for the Cowboys, dives deep. So I'll take it over to DC Dennis Clark. When you're looking at this game, what was your take up on it? What was your thinking about the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars today?
The Jaguars, their track record sucked, Sonny. And
I know that. I mean,
and
record, but this is the year
they,
of the Jaguars, right?
They tend to make a few points at the beginning and then peter out in the second half all the time.
That's a good point.
And I don't know. Personally, I think it's poison. So no, in Buffalo, Buffalo's Buffalo. I mean, they're a better team, period. So
I agree, fully agree. I don't want them to be better than my Jaguars, but they are. They're just a better football team around the numbers. And now, Trey, you looked at this game. Did anything as far as where the Jaguars really have home field advantage over in London? They're the team that's played over in London the most out of all the teams in the NFL. Kind of a home game for them. Did you take that in consideration when you were thinking about this game?
I did, but here's the thing. You know why the Jaguars are the home team? I mean, besides the reason why they go there so much, because they have a hard time drawing in Jacksonville. So they're the most likeliest team to actually go over there to see if they can form a new home. So if it actually worked out over there, they can just transfer them from Jacksonville over to London.
Well, interesting that you say that. There was a poll taken in Jacksonville. Give me a second, and I'll find this poll. This was really an interesting thing, as far as if you want to call it fandemonium, because there's really no fandemonium in reality for the Jaguars. But a new poll reveals that only 6% of Jacksonville resident wants to help pay for the $1 billion stadium, the Jaguars, in renovations of where they are. Only 6% want to pay for that. They said that 47% of them don't want to even, it says 47% of them don't want to do it, even if it means losing the Jags in the city. So like they say, hey, we're going to go to different, they don't care. 47% of them don't care. And then 51% of the city said they should sell the stadium to the team and let them pay for it. So there's not a lot of Jaguar love, even in their own hometown.
Over in St. Petersburg, where the Devil Rays play baseball, right? Rangers were out there for Game 2 after they destroyed them in Game 1. You had more fans during the COVID year at the stadium than you had during a wild card baseball game. I mean, Fandemonium or whatever in Florida, whatever. It's not great. Okay, and I mean, unless you maybe a basketball team, where the Miami Heat could draw their thing, but then that was in. This is now.
That's a good point because it is Miami. That's really the outside the Dolphins. I mean, Tampa Bay. I mean, those are the three. They don't care about Jacksonville there at all.
No, I mean, college football draws because it's college football. You have a university that can fill the stands. So so your Florida States, your Floridas, your Miamis, your whoever's are going to have their wherewithals there. But Tampa Bay baseball has never drawn ever.
Yep.
And they were stuck in a 30-year lease at Tropicana Field, and they're waiting to get out of that to a brand new stadium. That's getting now. Maybe it's because they got to cross over the bridge to get to St. Petersburg, and nobody wants to do that. I don't know.
Could be.
I mean, I don't live there, so I'm not sure how congested that would really be. I mean, the closest thing I have to any big river is a Red River around here. We know how big that is. So I mean, I think personally, just Jacksonville's trying to make do with what's going to work for them. And going over to London, maybe that works. That's why. But Bills fans have been thinking about moving as well.
Oh yeah, that's been a story for years. Trying to get them in the stadium and everything, and they want them out.
Will they go to Canada? Will they go here? Will they go there? I mean, that's always been the thing for them as well. London's going to get a team one way or the other. It's going to happen.
Right
now, whether it's going to be an expansion team, probably not, because the NFL hates doing the expansion thing. But that they have to move, they have no problem moving the team from one place to another.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only if it's right for anybody. Because the problem you run into with all that is then the players have got to get their passports. Then the players have got to set up residency overseas, which is a lot different than sitting at saying residency over here. There's a whole change of living out there than there is here. So
yes.
They don't take that into consideration when they're saying, well, the money's right for us to go out there. Maybe the money's right, but the cost of living, how you're living, how to get to and from, how many NFL players are going to be allowed to come back into the United States with any infractions on their record? I mean, getting out of Canada is a bitch. So how many NFL players have got failed drug situations and DUIs and whatever else is? I mean, that's going to run to a situation. So
yes and no. I'm going to tell you what I know. Not what I think I know, but what I know. Going over to London and everything else and getting passports and stuff, that's something that is basically kind of overlooked. I mean, because like you said, there are a lot of NFL players that got a lot of problems with the law that wouldn't let them be able to make a trip out of this country. Since they're playing for the NFL, and it's kind of like they're not going to not say let those guys in. They're going to say we'll have someone there watching them and stuff. And I know that's what's going on because there's too many. Like you said, there's just too many players that have too many.
Well, first of all, going over there is not a problem. Coming back is. That's the problem. Getting back in the United States is a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah,
because I know for a fact, and when I was a former truck driver, they say if you ever had to make a run into Canada, getting out of there is a bitch. So because they go through everybody going through the border up there, and if you have any infractions at all, you are stuck there playing 20 questions all day long.
Oh, Bill Cerna did that on his 30 for 30. He went in to Canada for literally 5 hours to watch a baseball game. And they gave him so much heck. He was a man by himself, in a rental car. I mean, so they gave him all kinds of hell getting in and then all kinds of hell getting out. So it is.
What did they do? Find no-dos in his pocket or something?
Well, you go to Bill Cerna's. We actually talked about that whole situation. If you go to his his Facebook page, I talked to him about it. So it was very interesting. We won't get into here. But by
the way, what's funny? Have any of you guys been to California?
Oh yeah.
Y'all driven to California?
We used to do it a lot. Living in Arizona, we used to take that trip to California a lot.
See, I love it how I took this one time for Thanksgiving, me and my wife, we told our kids we're gonna go to Denver, Colorado, and we got to the week of, and my wife's like, we don't have closer to Denver at this time of the year. So what do you want to do? So I'm like, let's go to San Francisco instead. Let's not tell the kids. So we went to Four Corners, did the whole thing we were going to do there. We just, instead of making a left, we made it right.
Right.
And then halfway through there, my daughter's like, how come we're not in Colorado now? I'm like, oh, we're going to California instead. It's like, what? So we get to California, and we get right to the state line, and there's a border patrol,
Mm-hmm.
and they stop you. And the first thing they ask you is, are you carrying any fruits or vegetables?
Yes.
And I'm
not
like,
anything about immigration, but those
I'm
fruits and vegetables right there are very important.
That's a big thing, right? So I'm like, no. And I look at my wife saying, might have a trunk full of weed, but we're not going to tell them, are we?
That sounds like my car.
You're right.
But I understand why, because they can't have outside fruit and vegetables in the state because they have their own, fruit farms and everything else. They try to keep very purified out there and everything else, which is fine, whatever. I mean, if California did one thing right, it's their fruit. Because their fruit farms out there are fantastic. Out in Bakersfield, they're fantastic.
I've heard of them.
But yeah, I saw it's funny. It's like saying, "Are you carrying your fruit vegetables?" No. What about the illegals I got in the back over here? I got 3 kids. I want to deem illegal. You want to take them? I mean, go ahead, take them.
You want to take their oranges and bananas that we bought for them on the road? Are you serious?
I saw by a load truck something got them a banana. So you want to take that from them? Go ahead.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're, by the way, we're all on the Buffalo Bills except Team Impact. He's on the Jaguars, and as of right now, he's kind of got that pick in reality in his pocket right now. But still 11-0. They're not even at halftime. I would be worried if this went into the fourth quarter and it was still 11-0. So we'll check in on them as we move forward here.
Do you know how much? Do you know how much I would hate to have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to? Oh, never mind. I did that today. Okay. Never mind.
Well, you were almost up before me. I mean, I woke up and there was where's the link to the show? I literally woke up at about 8:15 ish.
I'm probably going on about 4 hours sleep right now if I'm lucky.
He's on adrenaline. So
I'm pissed. I'm super pissed.
I know. Forget about it. It's NFL. It's time for the NFL, and that brings us to a very weird game today. The Texans 2-2 on the road, taking on the Atlanta Falcons, who are also 2-2. This was one of the tough games that I was. By the way, there are a lot of tough games to pick this week.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh my God. Like I said, I might only be on the top for just 1 week. I might not ever see it again.
That's all I can stand.
Yes,
That's like, I can't stand for you to be on top for every single week after this.
You would get the reminder every single week. But taking a look at this game, as far as scoring offense,
Fred, are you the oldest or the youngest out of you and Sonny?
I'm the youngest.
I'm the middle kid.
He's the middle kid, and then Fred Clark.
Family.
Yeah, and then Fred Clark, who's right below me in the standings, is the oldest.
Okay. Did you bully Sonny any?
Pardon?
God, I was bullied all the time, and not by DC. My oldest brother, my oldest brother. Just,
you know what? Hey, look, let me say this: you didn't bully him enough, okay? That's all I'm saying.
No, my brother Fred was the bully of the family. Period.
There's no question. And those that don't know, my brother's cerebral palsy, so Yeah, really. Anyway, that said, but
Lord, I didn't say that. Okay, I was trying to be nice to people. Okay,
yeah, no kidding. But when going to see, I'm like, Dennis, how old are you?
61.
Yeah, there's a 5-year gap between DC and me. So so when I was going through school, we lived across the street from a school where all 3 of us attended at one time.
Are you talking about the train school, or are you talking about
the one that more literally across the street? Yeah,
Center school.
Yeah, literally across the street was the school, and I was like in kindergarten, first grade, something like that. You were just going in, and Fred was like in 8th grade or something. So that difference is that, and we were all
He
together
was a
in
couple
one
of years
school.
ahead of me in school. That was
Yeah.
about it.
But there's some stories out there that we won't really kind of go in on. And greetings
Yeah.
from Nashville.
We'll save that for the therapy sessions.
Yeah, like we can afford that. But Cuervo is in Nashville. Yes, he did the Chicago. By the way, that picture in the glove, Cuervo, awesome. Love that picture. If you check Mario Cuervo's page, some great pictures from Chicago and Nashville, by the way, as far as that is concerned. And by the way, Bears won, but lost 6 players. I don't know if that matters or not for Cuervo, but I don't know if Cuervo, let us know if you're going to be in today or not, or probably not, but I'm thinking it's at his mother's. His mom lives in Nashville.
Well, it's perfect time to come in then if you can talk to your mother. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, why would you want to come on? Well, why would he want to come on our show? He doesn't see his mother all that much.
Listen, this is where his mom sees he's a big TV star. Come on now.
Yeah, there you go.
You have to show up for her, sir.
Yeah. So
I would. I mean, I would, but my parents are dead, so I deal with that.
I would come. Put on this show. No. Anyway, all right. Houston and the Falcons. Tough pick. I mean, looking at the numbers, I mean, the pass offense for the Falcons is disgusting. Okay, mm-hmm. Their passing for the season is at 156 yards a game. And that's incredibly horrible. Now, you throw it on the other side. Houston, they're throwing the ball for 281 yards a game. That's average, okay? That's average. That means obviously they had a little bit more on a couple, but that's good for 4th in the NFL. And guess who's dead last? The Atlanta Falcons. What do you think they're going to see today? Okay, I mean, I always say this: if I see a number that stands out in front of me, the NFL coaches know about it, and so. That's probably one of the things that we'll be seeing, a passing game coming from Houston. By the way, Houston won. I think they won last week. Didn't think they probably should have in reality. But they're one of those teams where they can't decide if they're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? But they're trying to take that step forward to maybe trying to be good after the debacle of Deshaun Watson, after not having really anybody there. These are a bunch of guys that are saying, listen, we can win some football games this year. But then again, this is that game for them. This is another one where you look, they're 2-2. They could improve to 3-2. Same thing with the Atlanta Falcons.
I think they will, because Atlanta is just, they suck.
Well, I think where most of that comes from is the defensive side of the ball. I mean, when you look at the passing yards, I mean, 150, the defensive side, the pass defense is actually pretty good. But when you got a team that's throwing for that a lot, that's huge. But on the other side of the pass defense for the Texans, they're 9th in the NFL, giving up 195 yards. Listen, when you're top 10 in some of these stats, I think that's somewhat impressive. And there they are the Houston Texans. So when I look at it now, the passing touchdowns, when you look at the numbers, it's kind of weird, because when you say passing touchdowns per game, when you say 1.8, that's good for 8th in the NFL for the Houston Texans. When you look at Atlanta, they're not even averaging a touchdown a game. They're averaging 0.8. So that's about 5 points in reality is what they're averaging. They're not even averaging a touchdown as far as the passing game is concerned. So I think there's a lot of things that we're going to see a lot from Houston. But one of the things that we're not going to see from Houston is our rushing game. All right. They're 26th in the NFL. They're only rushing the ball for 87 yards a game. However, you flip side that, what you're going to see from Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta, they are averaging 128 yards on the ground. That's good enough for 11th in the NFL. So when the Houston Texans are giving up 116 yards a game, which is good for 19th in the NFL, that's about where we'll see the difference in this game. So I don't know Podfather, yeah, wake up. I'm gonna have to bitch slap you.
No,
With
no.
numbers.
I mean, you're talking so many stats and so many of this, so many of that.
Absolutely, it's important.
It's giving me a headache. Look, here's the thing.
Yeah, and he was last year, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, but by the way, who's first right now? DC.
Well, you got a few
first?
games.
Yeah. Hey, have you been first this year? Yeah. No,
I am this week.
Right now, for this week.
Are we uncovering the fact that Sonny's real name is James?
I'm not going to tell him his real name because it's too goofy.
Say what?
Nothing.
Wait, what did you ask him, Podfather? You broke. And I'm asking because you broke up. What did you ask him?
I'm like, do we just learn that your real first name is James?
Why am I missing something?
Because I thought he called you James for a second.
No, I don't call him James.
No, we listen to a lot of James Brown in our house.
Oh gosh, okay. Look. Here's the thing, and I know this pisses you off because you have your own deal about rookie quarterbacks.
Yes.
CJ Stroud is showing that he can play.
He can play.
Now,
the other side.
Will it give him a playoff win and a Super Bowl anytime soon? Probably not. No. But because it is Houston. But in Houston's good at one thing: cheating in baseball. But but look.
Well, you'll just never let it go.
No, I have no reason to. But
all right, hold on. Okay, we're gonna how you get to the fork in the road. We're gonna go right instead of left. Left is NFL. We're gonna go right. Why is this such a big deal for Houston when in the World Series because they were quote unquote cheating? I mean, there's cheating in baseball every freaking game. They just happen to get caught. And I don't know. Back in my day, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I don't understand why it's a big deal.
Okay, fine. Then you know what? You go tell the fans over at Sword Championship Wrestling when I interfere in matches.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not really cheating. I'm contributing.
Okay? Yeah. Baseball, wrestling,
it's all the same to me.
I don't know, DC. I mean, wrestling and baseball, it seems like two different sides of the world.
I'll grab a bat. I'll grab a bat and swing. I got no problem with that. I might not hit a home run.
Sting carried the bat.
I mean, I might not hit a home run, but I'll definitely crack a few heads. Yeah. Look. Here's the thing. I'm liking what CJ Stroud's doing. I didn't think he'd have this early in the game. Having said that, they're also Houston. They haven't played really any top caliber teams yet that I would think that would give them a challenge. Yeah, and they're not necessarily perfect either. So I mean, they're going to have their hits and misses. This I think is going to be a hit for them today because once again, Atlanta's not so great. Although Atlanta can sneak up and surprise you though. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they do have horses. They just don't run in the same place all the time. You know. So
I agree. And Desmond Ritter is not as bad as I thought he was going to be.
No, I know.
So you got two of those young quarterbacks doing more than what I thought, and they're matching up against each other. Right. So it's going to be all about what's around them in reality in order to get the win.
It's one of those things where you look back at it 5 years from now and see what these two players are. You know, is Ritter the better player? Is Stroud the better player? I mean, but say this is your first meeting, so. Right. Where are these guys 5 years from now? Are they even on the same team? Are they even still on the same teams that they were drafted by? Who knows? So, you know, it's like I mean, to me, it reminds me of the first year of Troy Aikman, right? Solid quarterback, but just did not know what we had because we didn't see a whole lot of good
Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman. They fall in line to those type of quarterbacks where you should be discussing, and then by year 3, maybe they'll figure out if you're going to be good enough to be a franchise type quarterback in the NFL. And nowadays they don't wait for that 3 years.
And not everybody can be Tom Brady and just walk into a situation all of a sudden dominate. You know, so I mean, and by the way, what's his fart?
What's his fart?
I cannot think of the guy's name now, but there's a Get back to me on this one. I'm having a brain fart here. I can't. Oh yeah. Brock Purdy, right? Mr. Irrelevant, and we'll get to him later, I'm sure. But I mean, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. He's doing incredible things in San Francisco.
It's about finding that diamond in the rough, man.
Yeah, and I mean, that guy's playing Madden football on the easy level while everybody else is trying to play catch up. And that's the fact. And he has one of the best running backs in the league right now.
That helps.
He's got really good receivers on the end.
That helps.
He has a tight end he didn't throw to, but he's there. So
that helps.
Yeah, and he's got a solid defense.
Main reason.
Yeah.
So when you got the things around you and you're a rookie quarterback, it obviously makes a difference when you're and Brock Purdy is that one that's in the frame as far as the picture.
But here's the problem
when you're talking like that.
What's been the knock about Troy Aikman through his career? Well, he had Emmett, he had Michael Irvin, he had Jay Novacek, he had the great offensive line. They made up excuses to why he was having all these great years, right? But never mind the fact that he was actually a pretty decent quarterback, and a Hall of Famer to begin with.
For those days,
yeah.
Because let's be honest. Outside, take away the Super Bowl, just looking at the numbers, you would be scratching your head, going, "Why is Troy Aikman so great?" Different era, different time.
Right.
He was great, and more of it is the mental game for Troy after coming off that 1 in 15 year, and then trying to put it together and start building a franchise to go to the Super Bowl multiple times like the Cowboys did.
Well, I mean, if you look at John Elway, right? John Elway went to a couple Super Bowls, didn't win. Yeah, got the tail end of his career. Then he finally won 2 of them.
2 of them. Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame without the two wins, but definitely those helped.
He would have got in with 1, but if he didn't, they would have held him. I mean, but you think about it. There's, I went back and watched it. We're talking about Jim Plunk. Can you believe Jim Plunk is not in the friggin' Hall of Fame?
He's been to 2 Super Bowls too.
Been to and won them. So it's just like, and I think it's Phil Simms. No, is it not Phil Simms? There's a giant quarterback, and maybe it is Phil Simms. I guess can't remember.
Well, Phil Simms doesn't need to be on there, okay? Because first of all, he sucks as an analyst, so he needs to go away.
You don't need.
His son's even worse too. So
all right, all right. Back to this game. Who you have?
Which game is this?
Houston and Atlanta. That's how much on the fork we win. We don't even know what game we were talking about. Houston. Who do you got?
I'm going Houston.
I'm at DC. Who do you got? Are you on mute? No, he's there. So who you got, DC?
Here. I'm going Houston.
I think I'm almost sure I went Houston. I did. I went Houston. So that should be an interesting game. Then getting to the next game that is up on tap for us, the Lions, totally different team. I'm told for the last 2 years, watch out for the Lions. People laughed at me last year and the year before, but I'm telling you right now, the Lions are a force to be reckoned.
That's not what we laughed at you, sir. But go ahead.
Well, no, yeah, that's probably that is true. Who knows? Just looking at me is enough to make people. Laugh.
I'm getting a kick out of you, but that's just me.
Yeah. Hey, if you think I'm bad, the one with no cameras telling you what's going on there. But anyway,
I respect him for realizing. You know what? Maybe I'm not camera ready. Okay.
Well, that's the reason why we started on Blog Talk Radio, because we're all so ugly. Except Mario, that punk. He's kind of good looking.
No,
and Bryce, we wouldn't even know about Bryce's great smile if it wasn't for the video, that we could see him smiling all over.
You know what? We need more of Cuervo's wife on the show than Cuervo. Okay.
No, there is no question about that. I mean,
yeah, because she picked a winner last week.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Oh gosh, how you give that game up? But then you turn around and do what you did on Thursday night. Amazing. Anyway.
So it takes a former Chicago Bear to die for them to actually have a good game, all right?
Something like that.
Well, Jim McMahon is pretty close on the list right now. So We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, we were talking about rookie quarterbacks, and we go to another rookie quarterback in Carolina. Got Bryce Young taking over the reins in Carolina. Now, obviously, Carolina is not the same team as of just even 2 years ago. But that being said, rookie quarterback going up against these Lions today. And say whatever you want about, where the Lions have been for their whole pretty much existence. This is a franchise that hasn't been able to get out of their own way, even when they had Barry Sanders on that football team. Now, Jared Goff is leading this football team. He's in the Super Bowl with the Rams a few years back, and he is being able to develop the people he's throwing the football to, plus Marvin Jones back with that football team, one of my favorites. He was with the Jaguars for a couple of years. Now he's back there. This team is utilizing, when I look at the Lions, I look at the Lions as kind of like the definition of a team, playing as a team, knowing they're pretty good, but they're not enough to get over the hump yet, but they're in a lot of football games. I don't think anybody, well, let me rephrase that. I was about ready to say I don't think anybody's going to be picking the Lions to, go deep in the playoffs. But this year there is a lot of talk about them, what they're doing this year, compared to years past. So that being said, Podfather, you got the rookie quarterback coming with the Panthers, and you got the Lions going with the experience at the quarterback position. What's your take up on this one as this game is in Detroit?
Well, we talked earlier that it looks like the Lions receiver is probably going to be out today.
Yeah, the St. Brown is probably going to be out of this football game, and that's a huge loss for this football team.
It's a huge loss, but I don't think it's going to matter because they got other weapons.
This is true.
And their defense has been pretty solid this year. And once again, Carolina is still trying to figure out who Carolina is. And they're gonna have their struggles here for the next 3 years because they're still trying to find that they have a new coach, they got a new quarterback, they got new everything. They're still trying to figure out who the hell they are. And if Carolina has anything good going for it, it's barbecue right now, and that's no lie there. But give them the Lions.
Okay, so are you
I'm hungry, damn
it. Based up on barbecue? Are you serious? I mean,
no, I'm picking Detroit. I mean, I'm saying Detroit's going to win the game. But if Detroit and Carolina had a barbecue contest, Carolina would win.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So, off the field, I love it anyway. But that being said, think about Detroit. What they're doing. They're getting to the quarterback. Okay. The Detroit Lions have 13 sacks through 4 games. Listen, that is something that has been non-existent in reality for Detroit. A rushing game? Are you kidding me? So that picks up and makes it a little bit easier on the offense, especially if the defense is showing up. And that's what we're getting with the Lions so far this season. We're getting a look of what hope was for the last 2 years and where they could still be going as far as that. And it does help that they have the Panthers this year, okay, or this week. This is huge. So when you got a tight end, Laporta having a huge season right now for the Lions, especially obviously offensively, and that guy's going to be leaned on because of St. Brown. That's not going to be able to probably make it out on the football field. But Hutchinson, he's getting 2 sacks. This guy is, we were talking about the sacks, but he's got 3.5 sacks right now, which leads the Lions in the sack category. But he's a big part of the defense when they picked him with their first round draft pick. As far as that is huge, as far as that is concerned. Also, think about this: when the Lions are winning games by 2 digits. Okay, this is something that has never happened in Detroit's, existence, is winning games by 10 points or more, and we're seeing that this year. So, but on the flip side, we're not getting all that right now with Carolina. We still got Bryce Young, going through some bumps and everything else. So I'll say this: who do you have in this game, and why do you think they'll win?
You talking to me or your brother?
Or you? I'll get the hint.
Well, I've already told you the Lions are going to win. You should listen to your own show, sir. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
but you didn't say why. I know you said the Lions were going to win, but why?
Because I told you why. Because Carolina is still trying to figure it out. Now, I say all this knowing the fact that it's probably going to be the final score 28-0 Carolina over Detroit. That might actually happen.
Right.
But I seriously doubt that. Because they are playing in Detroit.
Yeah,
So, I mean, and believe me, if that happens in Detroit, they're going to riot. But you know what? It's honestly, you know what? You called the Dallas Cowboy Arizona Cardinal game a trap game, and it was.
Oh God, yeah.
And that's what this
It could be that for the Lions.
and that's what this is. I don't think it will be, but I think the safe pick is the Lions. What's the spread on the game?
Oh, give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you what it is. Right here, and the spread on the game. Well, go ahead and make your point. Give me a second. This Boy, my computer's running
Live
slow.
coverage,
All right.
everybody. So you're looking
Yeah.
for the
Well, you threw that on me. If I would have known it was going to be there.
Yeah, they're stat in front of you. You don't have the damn spread. Come on now.
I'm
irritable right now. Okay.
And I can't even find it. So I don't know what the spread is.
Okay, Sonny's brother. Do you know what the spread?
Oh, geez. Can you hold on? Spread.
I'm busy.
Yeah, I see. I see you're really busy there. All right. It is Lions -9. Lions are given 9 points.
Okay.
To the Panthers.
Then that to tell you exactly why everybody's picking the Lions.
Well, and they've been winning. Just as the point I was making, they've been winning games by double digits. Vegas kind of thinks that's probably what's going to happen here.
Yeah. So,
right,
I'm going on our picks that we don't do over under because that would really screw me up.
Yeah, actually, Cuervo says it's 9.5. So, that being said, DC, what's your pick? Hey, Cuervo, put your pick in there. Let us know. I mean, if you're listening, let us know who you're picking while we're going through the games.
Let the man be busy, okay? It's okay. If he doesn't pick, we can just go ahead.
He's answering. He said Lions 9.5. He's there. Did you see right there? He said Lions 9.5.
I'm not paying attention.
Yeah. DC, who you got in this one and why?
Well, you know how much I love Detroit.
Yeah, your favorite team.
Yeah, they're my favorite. I'm not going to choose Detroit just because they're Detroit.
God, I'm thinking about changing my pick.
On the other hand, they're going to smack me upside the head today. It happens every time.
That's what I'm saying. I think I might want to change my pick to the Panthers. Hell, I don't know. Let's see here. Houston and Detroit are winners coming from Cuervo. We're right on that. And Young is back for Carolina. Is he back? That's a good question. He was hurt. Let's find out if Bryce Young is going to be in the lineup. Oh, wait. I can find that. Maybe I can find it. I don't know. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So let's go to that as far as the injuries are concerned. Bang, right here. All right. It says Bryce Young on the injuries. I don't see him on the injury list, Cuervo. I do see Miles Sanders, the running back. He's questionable, but nobody is out except Xavier Woods. Everybody else is questionable and or probable. On the side for the Detroit Lions, we already talked about St. Brown as doubtful. Looks like Gibbs, the running back, he is doubtful with a hamstring. Hooker is out. And let's see any more doubtfuls. James Mitchell, the tight end, he's doubtful with a knee. And out is also Brian Branch with an ankle. That's a defensive back for the Lions. So that's kind of like an injury setup for you as far as the game is concerned. So, but I'm going to be on the Lions, and he said like the Lions where Carolina covers. So yeah, I don't know. The Lions have won games by double digits a lot this year, two or three times. So Heck, who knows?
But like we said, it's kind of a trap game, so you never know how close Carolina might play it.
This is true. But it is nice to see the Lions come out and be the team that they're on. But guess what? When it comes to the Lions in reality, I can always say I could be wrong about this football team because this year when I usually pick a team that's Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, they're good sometimes, just god awful the next. The Lions are not that football team for me this year. The team that's Jekyll and Hyde for me this year are my Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, to this point of the season, they are and who they are, and which is not always that great. However, they're up 11-7. Buffalo up on the board. They are at halftime. So Buffalo got into the end zone before half. So they're down 4 right now. So that's something for them as well. And no St. Brown at Gibbs, limited offensively. So, but does that mean that the Carolina Panther defense can come back in and get involved with what's going on? And I don't know. When you look at the defense, the Lions are 13th in the NFL for points allowed, giving up 20 points a game. The Carolina Panthers, they're 25th in the NFL, letting them score 25 points a game. So even looking at a quick stat as far as the defensive side of the ball is concerned, I'm going to go to the Lions in this one as far as this week. So that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. We'll get into the next game here as soon as everything loads on my screen because it's running as slow as me today. This was the next team game that was hard for me to pick in reality. Tennessee Titans at 2-2, the Indianapolis Colts at 2-2. And, interestingly enough, you got another young quarterback in reality when you're looking at the Colts. And then you got Ryan Tannehill, who is taking that slide back to where he was in Miami. In other words, not being a great quarterback. For his first two and a half years in Tennessee, he was pretty good. But now you got Anthony Richardson in reality for another rookie quarterback, the number 4 overall pick, and they've been winning games maybe they shouldn't have been winning. So I'll throw this over to the Podfather, even though he's busy on the phone,
I'm looking at our picks.
Oh, you're looking at the picks.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
So, but that being said, this one was another tough one as far as the picks were concerned. So when you're looking at this game, Tennessee, as they're taking on the Colts, who do you got in this, or what are you looking at in this game there, Podfather?
Well, you mentioned Ryan Tannehill, right?
Right.
Well, that's why I'm looking at the Colts. Look, I like their quarterback. I mean, the Colts have got a quarterback. He's up and coming. He's a rookie.
Uh-huh.
He's getting his feet wet, but he's doing it the right way. And now, I don't think the running back comes back tonight. If he does, great.
No, he's not going to be there. He just signed, if I'm not mistaken, he just signed yesterday or day before. He's not ready to really kind of get in there unless he's keeping himself familiar with the playbook and keeping himself in shape.
Mean, if all you got to do is take the ball and run, he could do that.
That too.
But I'm going to go Indianapolis because without him, they were doing pretty decent. So, and Tennessee's hit and miss. A lot of it falls on their quarterback. But and plus Derrick Henry's not been Derrick Henry.
I agree. And that was one of my things when I was looking at the game in the last couple of games. However, when you see what they did last week, okay? Last week is a good example of watch out for any team in the NFL. Because Tennessee was, they beat Cincinnati last week. Now, granted, Cincinnati isn't playing up to snuff. This is not the same football team that we are known to see, except that if you do really kind of keep track of the Bengals with Joe Burrow's always slow to get started. So the Bengals, now going to 0-3 would have been horrible for them, I think, in reality. So going 1-2 really helped them out. And now, they get theirs on the Cardinals this week, probably a win for them. But when you see these changes, when you see these type of guys do what they do, And then I just, when I look at Derrick Henry, this is really your only set. But there's something about Tennessee that makes me think that they could win any football game against any football team, not just the bad ones. Okay, it just turn around. They're just so hit and miss in reality. They were my second team. I was thinking of Jekyll and Hyde. Tennessee Titans this year is definitely that team. But I don't know, DC. I know you're a Tennessee Titan fan, and
Well, I'm a Tennessee fan by default because of Vicky, but
right.
I think Henry's going to be a deciding factor in this one.
Well, when you look at the numbers as far as what happens on the offensive side of the ball, okay, especially the defense with the rushing defense is going to be huge for the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to have to stop the run. And listen, Indianapolis doesn't stop the run. They give up 126 yards a game, 23rd in the NFL. Okay, now, but when you look at the rushing offense there for Tennessee, only 111 yards a game. So that's Derrick Henry and company. So Derrick Henry is, I don't know if he's even eclipsed the 100 yards yet this season. And if he did, it was only once. So, but sooner or later, this guy's going to pick it up. Just like Joe Burrow is going to pick it up a little bit later. He's going to pick up his game. And I think it starts this week. And I know a lot of people are on Indianapolis in reality. And I get why. Because this is a different football team. They've been playing better. But, the line is only 1 in this game. There you go.
Is it? I was looking earlier. So
I know you were going to ask. I thought I'd find it.
No, I looked it up. It said 2.5 by the Titans. But if they change it, it shouldn't change.
Yes, correct. A lot of things changed. So, interestingly enough, the Colts are not even getting that 3 points at home. So that they're close to being a home dog. They're not. They're favored by 1. But that being said, I think I'm going to see this game be that game where Derrick Henry wakes up, and I am on Tennessee this week. Who are you on there, Podfather?
This game is being played in Indianapolis, right?
Game is in Indianapolis.
So, because Indianapolis and Tennessee are so close to each other, do they just bust them in there, or do they fly them in there?
They all fly. They don't take buses. They're not the minor leagues. They would fly even if it was an hour flight.
Just wondering. But no, I'm going Colts. I'm going Colts. I think they got more of the upswing than the Titans.
And DC, who do you have in this one?
I have Tennessee.
So me and DC taking on Derrick Henry, maybe be able to come back in this one.
I think so.
This guy's going to break it in with Indianapolis's rush defense giving it up. This is going to. I think it might get out of hand. It's definitely going to be the Derrick Henry show. Now, that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. Catchers 9 to noon. We take it right up to kickoff. The New York Giants. What a pathetic display on Monday Night Football that they had. They're 1-3. Yeah, Dable was the coach of the year last year. Should have been the Jaguars, and that's not me just being a Jaguar fan. That should have definitely gone to the Jaguars coach. But I digress. They're playing Miami. I don't have a lot to say about this one because this is going to be an aerial assault that will happen here today as far as the Miami Dolphins are concerned. So, Podfather, leader of the network, the man, you are the grand wizard of knowing everything here.
Keep talking.
I'm throwing the softball for you so you can hit it out of the park. What do you think about this one?
Oh, Miami. They're going to, they put up 72 weeks ago, right? They slowed their points down, the last game against the Bills.
Mhm.
Bills are a way better team than the Giants. And Giants, I mean, ever since Dallas put a 40-0 slacking on them on opening night, they have not caught their breath yet. I mean, I know they got one win out of the whole thing, but
And this is a team that made the playoffs last year. 3 teams in the
doesn't
NFC
matter.
East made the
Doesn't matter.
friggin' playoffs last year.
That doesn't matter because
I know it doesn't.
every year is different.
Absolutely.
But that's what parody's all about.
Well,
But you know what? But here's the thing. Right now, if there's one coach on the hot seat, that's the coach of the Giants.
Yes.
Because he's got to deal with that scrutiny up there.
Yes.
Honestly, he's giving the coach of the Jets a break. Because you can't sit there and you can't look at the coach of the Jets and go, man, you're on the hot seat because you lost your star player and now you're stuck with what you got. Well, that's fair, but I mean, once again, Zach Wilson's got a little something. He's still young, whereas this coach, he's got Daniel Jones, who he's very hit and miss. I mean, he was like a superstar one week and he was like a complete dud the next.
And there have been many NFL quarterbacks that have been just like Daniel Jones is this year.
Well, Ryan Tannehill is one of them.
Ryan Tannehill is one of them.
So, I mean, that's going to happen, right? So, the Giants, they don't know who they are. They have no identity. Jason Garrett is probably waiting to just chomping at the bit to come to the Giants again. So, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, he's friends with the Mariners. So, clearly, it can happen. He's worked with them before. Mm-hmm. So, although he was let go shortly thereafter. Look, I thought the Giants
and throw this on top of it just really quick. Saquon Barkley is rumored to be on the trading block right now. Okay, that's how bad the Giants are. After they go ahead and do everything they can to sign the guy,
like I said,
now he's on the trading block.
Like I said earlier, I mean the guy can't stay on the field. He's like Randy Gregory. He can't stay on the field. And Randy Gregory just got picked up by the 49ers. Probably help pick his brain for the Cowboy game. But, I mean, it's like these players who aren't producing on a full-time scale, teams are sitting there going, yeah, sorry, we need to fish or cut bait with you right now because we can't do much with you. And if there's value in you, we got to get it now because we ain't going to get it down the road.
Absolutely. And think about this. Think about this also. When you're about ready to get rid of your, I guess, second superstar, if that's what you want to call it. By the way, Cuervo's leaning Tennessee. He don't know yet that the official, but you think about this as far as where they are concerned. Geno Smith. I know he's a Seattle Seahawks. They played him last year. Geno Smith was in the face of these Giants. Now, I go back and I think about history of Giants, okay? Because I'm so old school, so of course I know about the Giants being that rough and tumble. I've never seen a cast of wusses in the as far as the New York Giants are concerned, letting Geno Smith get in their face without ripping his friggin' helmet off. If that would have happened years ago, Geno Smith could have been laid out on the football field. Geno Smith, out of all people in the NFL, are getting in the Giants' face. This team has grown soft. And this is not the same Giants team that we have seen in the past that supposedly make them great, which is their defensive side of the ball. Their defense is definitely weakened, huge, compared to what we've seen in the past. I don't know if I'm going to pick the Giants for the rest of the year, and I don't even care if they're playing, bad teams like the Jaguars, bad teams like the Houston Texans.
That pains you to say, didn't it?
The Raiders. I mean, geez. I mean, so they are definitely soft, a lot softer than that they ever been, but. That being, look who go. Wait a second, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best smile on the internet.
yeah.
You dig it, sucker.
And by the way, I can do it every single week when I get them in. And by the way, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I'd say, they asked me, what's your favorite segment on your show? On that being said, it's got to be this man right here, Bryce from Brooklyn. Good to see you. Look at that smile. I'm telling you right now. How this guy doesn't have 900 dates lined up just because of that smile, I don't know who can. If I had that smile, I'd have a date every week. How you doing, Bryce? Good to see you.
Sonny, always good to come on and see everybody.
Hold on. Let me interrupt you, Bryce. Let me interrupt you just really quick. When you start and you do this, we know what's about ready to come with that. You still got it on your shoulder. That terrible towel. You still got that. How could you? Yeah. The face. You must be feeling not too optimistic about your Pittsburgh Steelers.
We got the boss today. We got the Podfather. Always good to see him. It's a great addition to the show. We got.
Would you stop it? I'm never going to be able to shut him up if you keep that stuff going on.
You know what, Bryce? I had a bad night last night. And you were that brought it. If I can smile right now, I'll be smiling from ear to ear because to hear those sweets, even from a Steeler fan, which I can live with. It brings a warmness to my heart. The
Steelers do have more Super Bowl wins than the Dallas Cowboys. Just to
that's
that
fair.
into it.
That's fine. Whatever.
Wow.
Hey, I got news for you. The Cowboys and Steelers have more wins than the Jaguars.
Hey, listen. I have never been on a Jaguar bandwagon. Just ask Bryce.
You see this, but see, Podfather, this is the problem with Sonny Clark. He likes to come on his show.
There's not just one problem, sir. There's not just one problem.
Listen, he does all these shows. He's announcing. He's got wrestling. He's got the high school.
No. He
Not the wrestling. Not as much anymore on the wrestling.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, so he's not doing the wrestling. He's got the high school sports. I know he was doing indoor football league. He was doing some of that stuff. He's got his own show. So he's a busy, important man. But what he does to us, this is how
I'm the hardest working man in sports radio.
The hardest working
man.
This is what he gets to do, Podfather. He's been doing this since I known him. He likes to come on his show and take unbelievable shots at other people's teams while he doesn't claim his own team.
Because they suck.
Jaguars. He doesn't like to rest his hat on the Jacksonville Jaguars just so he could take shots at Cuervo's Bears and Mike Tomlin and all these other people. That's how he does it.
Well, I've only done it to Mike Tomlin once, but okay.
Oh, you've done it so many more times. but yeah, that's what he likes to do, Podfather. So he never fully embraces his Jaguars, even though they are his Jaguars.
Wait, hold on. Am I not allowed to not believe in my team like a Cowboy fan?
He's got Jaguar greats coming on, but yet he never wants to fully embrace his Jaguars.
All right, so
hey.
Well, who did you pick today in the Jaguars versus the Buffalo Bills?
I picked the Bills.
Okay, all right. I'll rest my point. So did I.
Hey, Sonny, if you want, I can call Michael Irvin up right now and have him chime in.
Say that again.
I can call Michael Irvin up right now and try and have him chime in if you want.
Oh, sure, bring him on.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. Say, who do you pick for the Cowboy game? Oh, I don't pick Cowboy game. There you go.
You didn't even need to meet him to know that that's the way he is. But
hey, I managed his nephew, and we were tag team champions. So
it's weird. Our claim to fame is the Podfather managing the nephew of Michael Irvin. So there you go.
There we go.
Hey, he would still be a champion had he listened to me.
The fine co-host has weighed in. Bryce is not a Jaguar fan. There's a difference. Exactly. I don't need
Well, are you picking your hold on. All right. So the Steelers are in action.
The Steelers are in action, which is why it is Ravens week, which is why I'm going all in with the towel on the shoulder.
One of the better games of this season. You get two of them, and this is one of the two that are wonderful because that AFC North, it is just that game. And it don't even matter if it's the Cleveland Browns. They always seem to come to play within their own division. And this game, each and every, I didn't pull out the quarter. I know who I'm picking in this game, but most years before, this was a pull out the couch potato quarter to figure out who you're going to pick in this game. Now, mine was solid. It was immediate. But here's the thing. Last year, Bryce, you were talking about one Matt Canada, and now all of a sudden everybody, it's like they're a year too late listening to you about Matt Canada and the offense that is going on. You started week 2, if I'm not mistaken, because week 1 was such a disaster last year. You started him on week 2, and here we are today. He's the big story. It's not how bad the Steelers are playing, which, by the way, they are. It's about Matt Canada and what is going on there. What is going on with Matt Canada? Why did they give him yet another responsibility to drop the ball on?
I say to put more blame on him.
All right.
Maybe because they don't have enough, I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to try not to. Podfather, if you're not familiar, we have a term that really originated with Sonny, which, Sonny loves to go on his amazing sports rants where he just kind of goes.
Which, by the way, 75% of them are dead on. But
there you go. See, Podfather, that's how it is. He likes to go on.
I'm more worried about the 25%.
Well, he's quick to defend himself.
He loves,
right?
He loves to go on these amazing sports rants. So what we started to do when we saw him getting going, like, oh, can we talk and all these segments, we do it with it's like you're on a roller coaster. We strap ourselves in and then we get ready, and then he just takes us all around and goes everywhere.
It's like a roller coaster, baby.
I'm not gonna do that because I've almost.
I'm going to tell you, I'm disappointed.
You know why I'm not going to do that? Because I've done it so many times with this offensive coordinator. Here's what happened. Here's what it is. Actually, it's before this, Sonny. When they hired him in 2021.
Okay.
About, we got our Pittsburgh sports shows. And I remember I emailed into one of them, and this was middle of the season. And I said, should we start thinking about Matt Canada being one and done? Because the offense, even then, continue to have the same issues week in and week out.
Stagnant,
guys, wrong assignments, guys not knowing where they're going, just extremely basic schematics. They look like they run 10 plays and that's it. They run a play, it's successful. They'll go back to it 10 plays later, then 5 plays later, then 5 plays later. Same concepts over and over again. And I said, wow, should he be one and done? But the Steelers do not run their organization like that.
You're right about that.
Now, they have fired coordinators. No, they have let guys go. Like Ray Sherman was let go.
Right.
Like receiver coach Scotty Montgomery, when Bill Cowher was there, he let him go. So they have done it, but it's not typically their way. So what they did was they put it off on Ben and said, well, it's Ben's last year. Let's get a quarterback in here that's younger. We'll get Kenny Pickett. We'll get it another year. I started speculating 2021. Matt Canada should be probably gone. Start brand new, bring in a new offensive coordinator, someone that's a little bit more seasoned in the NFL game. What have you. 2022 comes, and we have the same issues starting from the Bengals on. Same issues with Matt Canada. In-game play calling, just wacky. No reason, route combinations that are independent of each other. The concepts don't scheme receivers open. The general philosophy is we call plays, players make plays, get open.
Yes.
So the scheme is not really going to help you. So it got really bad last year. And then in the bye week, what did they do? They doubled down on the run game. They said, we're going to run the ball more than anyone. For those 7-8 games, they actually established what we'll call an identity. Even then, they still didn't score more than 2 touchdowns in most games. But it allowed the defense to rest. They were able to go 7-2. So now, instead of letting him go, because they did well in that 7-2 and finished 9-8, they decided to run it back.
The Brian Hoyer effect.
And I think I came on this show and I said, Matt Canada by the bye week, if this offense does not look better, needs to be gone, period. And it has gone the worst way you could possibly imagine. He has no answers. Every press conference is just, he says nothing. Or he's defending himself because CBS made that comment that, we're not built to come from behind. That was misconstrued. He came out after the first week very defensive to the media. This is not who we are. Even though the offense has not scored more, averages 20 points a game or less in his 3 years of being here. For 3 years, this offense has been a mess. But yet, because the Steelers value loyalty and they don't like to fire coordinators and pay out coaches that aren't on the staff, they kept this guy on. I am hoping for a Steeler win, regardless of what it looks like.
Right.
Please, Mike Tomlin, if you're listening, please don't. Why are you tying yourself to this mediocre, not built for the pros coordinator? Fire him and put him out of his misery. Promote. Look, here's a name. I'm not saying it's going to be any different because you're not going to change your playbook in the middle of the season. Promote Mike Sullivan.
I think he should. I thought he should have got the job at the beginning of this season.
Listen, promote Mike Sullivan. Hire 2 offensive consultants, experienced guys to come in, help with the playbook, get rid of all the junk that's in it. Focus on what you feel you can do to help Mike Sullivan call better plays and just ride it out. That's where we're at.
Bryce, I did this as kind of like a jab, but
of course you did.
No, what I'm going to put up. But when I thought of jab, I was feeling really good about it because I was laughing through the whole thing. But then I thought of thinking about how sad it was. Take a look at this. I mean, this is pathetic. And this is going up against your team that you go in year out, and normally that all that green is usually on the Pittsburgh Steelers side. And then when I saw all that green on Baltimore, and I just looked at the measly 3 that are green, but they're still kind of, they're tied with certain things, or just a little bit behind. But it's the other things. It's you forget. You see the offense this year as well, Bryce. It is more about, in reality, both sides of the ball. Normally, you only get one side of the ball where you're seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers really not playing up the snuff. Now you're dealing with both sides of the ball. They don't have a snowball chance in hell to win this football game today. And I don't need to look at stats. I don't need to look at that. I just grabbed that up because I was going to give you the jab. But then I was just thinking to myself how sad this is, because this is not Steeler football. And that right there should be enough to have you strap it in and go off, or whether it's Matt Canada or Kenny Pickett. Part of Kenny Pickett is a Matt Canada kind of thing, so I kind of get that portion of where you can't, but you still got to deliver the ball. He's not delivering the ball at all. He's not reading defenses really well. That's the part that Matt Canada's got to coach him up on. Someone's got to coach him on, whether it's a coach, a quarterback coach, or an offensive coach. They don't have a snowball chance in hell to win this football game. I don't care if that game was in Pittsburgh, even if it is. They're not going to win this game.
Here's the thing. That's one of, there are some, shout out to Chris Carter of Locked On Steelers. He brings up a very good point. But what I'm about to say encompasses the issue. Okay. Is that some of Matt Canada's most egregious faults. Look, there are plays open. Right. In any NFL scheme, you're going to call plays. Guys are going to make plays, going to get open. Kenny's not hitting guys. He's not playing well. But the most egregious thing is Matt Canada has not made anyone better. He does not develop quarterbacks. He hasn't done that because he never did it. He comes from college. So he hasn't developed Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has regressed. The offensive line is not developed. It has regressed. The receivers, George Pickens can make some plays, but they run these same routes that are independent of each other. There is no progression. The points per game up until this point season has gotten worse than it was 2 years ago. So there is no reason to keep this guy. This also, I'm not above criticizing Mike Tomlin, this stubbornness, this doubling down on, well, it's up to the players to make plays, shows a lack of schematics and a lack of imagination.
Absolutely.
And so when you do that, you're in the situation you're in. Having that being said, this is the name of this show. Sonny, you are a prisoner of the moment because this is Ravens week, which is why I got the towel. And in these games, no matter how bad the other team is, for the most part, they always come down to the last play. They're always close. They're always hard hitting. So to say Pittsburgh don't have any chance, that's misguided because even though it looks bleak, it's Ravens week.
It's not bleak.
That
It's
was
not,
terrible.
yeah.
Crazy knuckleheaded terrible.
When it comes to playing the knuckleheaded bird brains,
The matchup
always there.
right. They don't match up well to the Baltimore Ravens. They can't. Never mind the fact that they can't stop the pass. Never mind add the extra added that this quarterback can run the football. They have no answer. And listen, I'm no Lamar Jackson fan. You know that. You've been to this show enough to know I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan. Lamar Jackson's going to throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns and run for 125. They're not going to be able to stop it. Their defense is normally when they're lacking on the offense, they got a stud-studded defense. That's not even showing up from week to week, or even for that matter, from play to play. They've been got off of. They got the win a couple of weeks ago. You got lucky they got the win because this is not Steeler football, and that's what they're getting away from the traditional side of what Steeler football is, and that's having tenacity. That is finding your guy who's the superstar, and they still can't find him even though he's in the backfield every single freaking play. They can't get the ball to the guys that, Pickens. Now that comes from Penny not being able to deliver the ball. But they're not anywhere close. If they were playing the Houston Texans, I would question who I would pick.
You saw what happened. We saw what happened last week. That was an abomination. But here's the thing, Sonny, what team has done the best against Lamar Jackson? It is the Pittsburgh Steelers because they've got the edge rushers. We'll see if Highsmith plays today because they have the edge
He's
rushers.
hurt. Is he going to play?
I don't know. We're going to find out. But the Pittsburgh Steelers traditionally have given Lamar Jackson a bunch of problems. He has not gone off. He has not thrown for a lot of yards or ran for a lot of yards. The Pittsburgh Steelers have done a good job of containing him. I know on paper it looks like the Ravens are going to run over the Steelers. It'll be a 20-6 game. We're a 23-6 game. But
you're only saying
it's the Ravens Steelers, and these games always are close because that's just the way they play them.
Yeah. Podfather, looking at this game, it's the Steelers and Ravens. You've seen it. You've seen my little stab. It was really meant to be a jab, but the more I looked at it, the more I grown sad for the Steelers because we haven't seen this type of Steelers team. I can't even tell you what year, except when they had Neil O'Donnell. Okay. Going back to the Neil O'Donnell days, this is the kind of Steeler game. And heck, the Neil O'Donnell Steelers could beat this Steelers right now. Just telling you. So what are you looking at in this game when you're thinking about the Steelers?
First of all, Bryce, never take a jab from a guy who's got T-Rex arms, okay? Does not work out well for him. All right? My boy Jason Collins says Pittsburgh covers the 5, so +5. So, look, here's the thing. There is tons of problems in Pittsburgh. We can all 3 agree on that, or 4 of us can agree on that. Only if you see 3 of us, so I saw 3. But we know Kenny Pickett and Matt and Man in Canada are not getting along. We know that there's a lot of frustration with the team. Mike Tomlin has gone through this for a while. Okay, he's had teams that are built to last but don't last. That's lately. The Ravens, this is why you pay your Lamar Jackson X amount of money to
Yes.
do what he's going to do against a rival team like the Steelers. Does that mean it's going to work? No, because you know what? As we saw yesterday, Texas OU, throw the records out the window. It don't matter. It's a rivalry game. They're gonna go at it, and and maybe the best team won't win, but the team that lasts will. Having said that, Pittsburgh, they're 2-2. We've all seen Bull Durham, right?
Yeah.
Remember the line?
My favorite.
You remember the line in the locker room when they're sitting there going, "Larry, what's our record?" It's like 13-36. 13. How will we ever win 13? It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
That almost defines the Steelers. That's great.
And the thing is that, the fact they've won despite their problems says a lot about that team. And I think it's enough to go for, I hate to say it, damn near the rest of the season to where they can be a 500 team or below, or either right above or right below 500. It won't be enough to do enough for down the road. But I want to throw this out to you guys because I like your idea of substituting Canada out for and bringing up from within the next offensive coordinator. But what if they went outside and they tried to find an experienced offensive coordinator? Once again, who's out there? Jason Garrett. Yeah, right. I mean, we all kind of cringe on that because that's all three phases. We're gonna go through all three. I mean, it's
Oh, that was terrible. Crazy knuckleheaded terrible.
Okay, yeah, it's all robotic Jason Garrett stuff that we don't need to hear anymore. I think he's happy where he's at anyway. Plus, he's waiting for the Giants to get rid of their coach. But who else?
He's on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, he's making money with no pressure. I mean, who's available? That's the thing. You're not going to get from the college ranks right now.
Well, but really quick, Podfather, let me interject. This is a Steeler team that does not do in-season changes. They'll suffer through whatever the hell that is going on. In this case, it's a Matt Canada.
And once again, things aren't that drastic. That's the problem. The fans, they are that drastic. The ownership, not so much. Because this is something they can work through. This is something they can get together in a meeting and have quality control and all other bullshit that's out there and try to make everybody happy. Well, you make them happy all you want. And they might actually win today. They might actually pull it off and win. I don't see it. I'm not going to pick the Steelers because of our picks thing, but I can see Pittsburgh getting lucky with a field goal. I don't think they're going to win though. That's the thing. I think at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson, he's got too much offense for the Steelers defense. I think Kenny Pickett is going to deal with the frustrations of not being able to get through the Ravens defense. Not that the Ravens defense is anything what it was back in the day with Ray Lewis, but it's still a lot better than what the competition has. So that being said, I'm picking the Ravens. So mark it down, Sonny.
DC, I don't know who you got or why. What do you got?
I'm going with Rice. I think they're going to win today. That's all I can say. You guys have thoroughly discussed it.
Okay. All right. And so, Bryce, I'll just ask you straight out. What's your official pick for today's game?
I want to address something that the Podfather said about the offensive coordinator. If you fire Matt Canada, obviously for the season, you're not going to change the whole playbook. You just can't.
You can't.
So that's why you promote. Steelers like to promote from within.
Yeah, you
promote Mike Sullivan. You say, okay.
Which I 100% agree with, by the way. I 100% agree with you on that.
Right. So you do that. You say, look, you've got 11. How many games they have left? You've got 12 games left. Show us what you got. You're going to call the plays. You bring in experienced offensive minds to consult to help start the process of rebuilding this offense. Then in the offseason, unless Sullivan blows you away, you let him go. You change over the staff. You bring in a new system, and you get ready. You preferably, I'm not saying they're going to do this, you preferably bring in 2 offensive consultants that can work remote, sign them on NDA, let them get into the playbook to adjust some things, come up with some more creative route combinations, preferably 2 guys that you feel if you needed to, because then they would be in-house. 2 guys that you feel one of these guys I could promote to offensive coordinator and maybe quarterback coach. So, you make the expectation of Sullivan very, very clear. Like, this is open for you, but we got to see how you work in game. And can you get this offense? Can you unlock it? So that's my thing. That being said, because this is the name of this show, the game of the week, and I've done it before. I've said this before. In spite of all the odds, I'm pushing my chips to the table. I got the towel today, somehow, some way, in Pittsburgh against the Baltimoreanic Purple Jabronis. The Steelers are going to find a way to beat the Baltimore Ratbirds, the rivals in Pittsburgh. Wait a minute. Get to 3-2 and be first place in the division going into the bye week. They do just enough to get the win. They go into the bye. They fire Matt Canada. They bench some of these guys that aren't playing well. And then
they fire him after a win?
Yeah. Hey, fire him after a win.
Oh, absolutely. There is nothing that should be keeping this guy on the staff after this game. I don't care if they score 100 this week. I've seen enough. We know who he is.
I'd be willing to bet that back in the day when you played Madden football, you were really ruthless about who you picked on your team, and like, look, this guy is he's gonna save me a ton of money. We're gonna play on the rookie level. And he's gonna throw 1,000 touchdowns in 1 year, right?
I tell you what, I was in Madden. I was my guys played well. I was signing long-term agreements, but I was shrewd. When you hit a certain age, you were gone. I was trading you for a pick.
Hey, I've gotten to the point now to where I give them 1 contract and I just upgrade. I just upgrade 3 years later.
So that's the perfect scenario. We're gonna beat the Ratbirds today. Canada is gone. The writing's on the wall. We hear the announcement tomorrow.
We're gonna fire him after the win.
This is the last day. Hopefully, Matt Canada is calling plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Get him out
did
here.
You call him the purple what?
The Baltimoreanic Purple Jabronis. That's what they are.
That one was written down, I'm sure.
That's what they are.
We're
gonna send them home.
Hey, honestly, if it does happen, I want to see the press conference. I just want to say, I want to say we had a good win today. By the way, Matt Canada gone now. It's off.
Needs to be gone.
And I mean, I just want to see that happen. Like, we won. Regardless, we're going to go on the bye week and look for a new coach.
Pittsburgh Steelers play their best when their backs are against the wall. This is a typical Mike Tomlin Steeler game. Just getting blown out. You're not playing well, and then all of a sudden you.
But I will say this though. If they do lose though today, and they go into the bye week, right? Perfect time to start looking. Perfect time to go from either call from what you already have, or if you're look elsewhere, you got the time to do it. You got 2 weeks to play with. Perfect. So perfect time to do it.
This needs to be. I'm sorry, Mike Tomlin. If Mike Tomlin does not fire this guy, I do not care what the result of this game. The result of this game does not matter. Only that we want to win. The Steelers want to win. But in terms of Matt Canada, it should already be a foregone conclusion. They should be set to make the announcement Monday. If he is not gone at the bye week, the Steelers are committing malpractice, and Mike Tomlin will be turning the fire up on his own hot seat to continue to keep this guy.
Let me ask you one question. Last year, you had a defensive coordinator. His name was Brian Flores. Now he's in Minnesota. Why is he out of there?
No, he was an assistant. He was a defensive assistant. And the reason why he's out because he went to take the coordinator job at the Vikings.
Right.
Terrell Austin.
Why wouldn't they just take him and promote him and be that guy? What was the problem?
Because in Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin calls the defense. The defensive coordinator is the defensive coordinator per se, but it is Mike Tomlin's defense. Brian Flores, while he probably would have thrived in that role, Brian Flores wanted to go somewhere most likely where he controlled the defense, called the plays. Mike Tomlin calls this defense.
and or become the head coach of how bad the Minnesota Vikings are playing. He'd be first in line for the head coaching job. And that's why I was actually shocked that he ended up in Pittsburgh last year, because of all the what went on regarding Brian Flores, that he ended up in Pittsburgh. I'm like, this guy got to have a snowball chance of hell of winning the head coaching job in Pittsburgh, even if, he was gone. So it was a very interesting, and I wanted to get your take. I forgot to ask you that at the beginning of the year.
Well, listen, I would have loved if the structure changed in Pittsburgh. Look, I personally believe one of Mike Tomlin's biggest faults is that he does not bring in top level coordinators to call his defense and offense, and he just manage the game, motivate the guys, be the CEO, head coach. He needs to do that more. I think he takes on too much, and therefore it spread a little too thin because the Steelers staff is already small. I think in terms of Brian Flores, I would love to see Brian Flores as the next head coach of the Chicago Bears with Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields has shown. This is another thing. I know Cuervo is listening. Sonny Clark was on record last year talking about they should trade Justin Fields for Bryce.
Absolutely. And by the way, I've never gotten off of that feeling, by the way.
Yes, I know, because you're insane, but that's all right. If you look at Justin Fields, if they put the right system around him, he can succeed. But that's a side note. But back to Pittsburgh. I'm pushing my chips to the table. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the victory today and come out first place with all of their warts in the AFC North.
By the way, I don't know if you know it. I'm not sure if you keep track. I don't know if you know it. The Bears are 1-4, and they sucked last year. And who was the quarterback there? They have not developed. Listen, I'm not saying Justin Fields can't run the football, but they haven't developed this guy as a NFL quarterback. Regardless if it was a dual threat, this guy still can't throw downfield. This guy cannot hit. If you can't coach him, if you can't get rid of him and or the coach and bring someone solid in there, I'm still on the and listen right now. Okay, I'm going to do it, and I know you only got. But I wanted to do this last. By the way, where are the running quarterbacks being successful lately?
I don't know. I can't figure that one out either.
Listen, we've been talking about it now that we're going into the fourth year about the running quarterback. When was the last time a running quarterback got to won the Super Bowl? The answer to that is no. How many running quarterbacks have made it to the Super Bowl? The answer to that is 2. How many have made it to their respective conference championships just to drop the ball or not even be there because of injury? Tell me the proof that, this is the way the NFL is. It's not. That's my strap-in. This is not the new NFL, because if it was, it would be more successful. And it's not. It hasn't been. And the proof is in the numbers. The proof is in the pudding. You see it each and every year. How is a running quarterback helping your football team except winning a football game, but not the important in the playoffs or a Super Bowl? You tell me. I'm saying Kenny Pickett has a better chance than most of the running quarterbacks in the NFL. So that being said, I don't know if I want the next big thing if it's a running quarterback. It's pathetic, and I'm tired of hearing all the hype about how great they are, because if they were great, they would win a Super Bowl. They would win an AFC or NFC championship game. They'd make it far in the NFL. How about just make it to the playoffs before they get their heads knocked off or their legs taken out from underneath?
Hey, Sonny, smoke this.
Where's my blood pressure medicine?
I'm
just saying. I'm just saying. And if I had my music, what have you done for me lately? I would put it out there. Now they will be able to. They can get you wins. I mean, Lamar Jackson's 70% winning percentage. I completely get it. But where's he been in the last 2 years when it comes to playoff time? Hurt. Or he's just got an ego to get his $54 million that he wants to get in his pocket. Either one of them was right there. Same thing. And the Cardinals right now, they have it out there. Murray's gone. Next year, Murray's going to be gone. So I'm not and I'm not going to buy it until I see proof that it works on a consistent level, and running quarterbacks don't do it. But hey,
So what's the consistent level?
say
Hey,
again?
what's a consistent level for you? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years?
How about you can win your 70%, but do something in the playoffs? How about prove that you can be the next Joe Montana? Prove that you can be the next Tom Brady. Prove you can be these guys. Heck, I'll even say this. The running quarterbacks of today, I want you to just go back in just a little bit of history. And I hate this guy, by the way. But Donovan McNabb was better than the ones that are coming out right now. And Donovan McNabb is no great big deal to me. It didn't prove me anything, but he's better than the ones that are coming out.
5 NFC championships.
Yeah, 5 NFC championships. He's better than those. But guess what? One. I don't know. I'm the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the
Bryce, I had to hear this kind of scoreboarding from him last week, all right? And it was just one-on-one. So now he's got a group to embellish us on. So he's got let it get out of the system.
All right, Father, let me ask you a question. How long have you known Sonny Clark?
Almost too long. Really. I mean
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yeah, and I had to carry him through wrestling broadcast every single show.
He had to carry me.
You've known him. You've known him. You got the boss here. You have Cuervo. I want you three. We're going to go offline here. When we go offline, we're going to start our own secret group. Yeah. We're going to stage an intervention. We're going to stage an intervention to help Sonny through his drug use because he is clearly on.
No. He needs drugs. Okay.
No. He's on.
This is actually.
He's on the wrong ones then.
This is actually. I'm heartbroken. This is actually sad because it's to me when I look at the running quarterback, it's like Donald Trump. If you can't see what's right in front of your face, you have no business voting. Okay, but that being said, that as far as Donald Trump is good, if you can't see that the running quarterbacks are great during the regular season, but don't do anything later on to make you champions or make you better all around to be the team where you're a threat each and every year.
Sonny, the running quarterback's a phenomenal athlete. He's a terrific athlete. He's going to be the best running back. He's the best running quarterback we ever had. I mean, come on. I mean, Donald Trump can sell that. Come on.
Sonny, let's start with this. How do you define running quarterback? What is a running quarterback to you?
Well, I just define them by what I see. And I see Lamar Jackson. I see Kyler Murray as running quarterbacks. Okay.
Steve Young. You don't see Steve Young as a running quarterback?
No, I don't. Because that man was a pocket That man was a pocket passer way before he decided to run the football. The first option for him was pass that football. And listen, you didn't watch the
John
game.
Elway wasn't. John Elway wasn't considered a running quarterback.
No, I don't consider. I consider him being one of the better running quarterbacks that ever played the game. But that guy was a pocket passer first and foremost. The guy knew when to run for the right reason.
Was Donovan McNabb a running quarterback?
Partially, no. This guy, but he knew when to run the football. These young guys don't know when to run the football, Bryce. They take off immediately. They're not patient. They're afraid they're going to get blasted in the pocket, which is true. They're going to get blasted, but their instinct is to take off more so than be that pocket passer.
Kyler Murray does it because he can't see over the front line.
What was Ben Roethlisberger known for? Using his legs to extend plays.
Bryce, I love Bryce. There's nobody on the face of earth that loves you more than me. But if you honestly think that Ben Roethlisberger was a running quarterback,
you have to. What if your definition of running quarterback?
It's not Ben Roethlisberger.
Hold on. If your definition of a running quarterback is a guy that's going to take the snaps, roll out, and just run keepers every play, then sure. None of the guys you mentioned, including Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, just do that all the time in their game. Those guys throw the football. Lamar Jackson, for the past, outside of injury, Lamar Jackson, the stats will show you, is one of the most accurate mid-range throwers the league
I agree.
has seen.
Listen, I'm not arguing about Lamar Jackson can throw the football, but come on. What is Lamar Jackson? Is Lamar Jackson known for running the football or passing the ball? Literally, just thinking off the top, take the frosting, put it on top of that nice vanilla cake. Do you honestly think that Lamar Jackson is known throughout the NFL and anybody else that he is a pocket passer?
I think Lamar Jackson, the guys inside the NFL, know he throws the football. The reason why Lamar Jackson is considered such a running quarterback is because he's so electric with the plays he can make with his legs, because he has unique ability. But that does not mean, Sonny, that he can't orchestrate from the pocket.
Listen,
I'm not saying that.
Sonny,
I'm not saying that. I'm
Sonny,
saying that.
Sonny.
No.
Hold on a second.
Okay, good.
Yeah, if you have a quarterback who has a dual threat, he can run, he can throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's a double feature for a quarterback. That's a good thing to have. Now,
I'm not denying that.
Does it always give you success? Probably not. But you know what? That doesn't mean that he's going to be. It doesn't mean
probably not. The probably not is what's showing.
Sonny, listen. Because there's so many injuries in football, because of quarterbacks who take the ball and have to make it their own. Because offensive lines get beat up every year, because they bring in the defense, they have to run. It happens, okay? So it's the evolution of the game, okay? And the pocket passers, we can point to all the successes, okay?
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of failures. A lot of failures that go out there too. So while we can sit here and start saying we got more people on this team than we got on this team, that's great. Let the game evolve. That's what we're doing. That's all we're trying to do as fans.
I'm all about it. I mean, we've been talking about the running quarterback for
wait. You're all about
on a regular basis
Sonny,
for 6 years, right? And what have they done?
Sonny, you're all about evolving.
I think we just called his bullshit on that one.
Sonny. You're trying to tell me you are about evolving the game as much as you yell at the cloud about all this stuff.
My preference is old school football, but how many more years do we give it? I mean, before it's
going to keep evolving, and evolve goes on.
What has been consistent in the NFL? What has been consistent in the NFL? It's a pocket passer, because only the Super Bowl and NFC and AFC championship games tell you who wins football games.
You have to be able to orchestrate from the pocket. But the greatest quarterbacks you're talking about, Joe Montana, what was unique? He could orchestrate from the pocket, and he moved with his legs.
Listen, I'm not saying. Wait, hold on.
Steve Young.
Steve
Young was running around all over the place.
Back this up. Because I'm going to. I'm not saying. Wait. I'm sorry. You guys are insane. If you think Roger Staubach is running quarterback, you've lost your mind. You need to go get drug tested. Okay, I'm sorry. You need to go get drug tested. Okay. All right. They can't all be Steve Young, who can run and who was great at both of them. But if you want to say that Ben Roethlisberger, Roger Staubach, who's the one that played for the Cowboys, Troy Aikman, or not, you got or Terry Bright, you're insane. Yeah, they can run the football every once in a while. That is not their bread and butter. The bread and butter of today. Stop. The bread and butter of today's quote-unquote running quarterback is running the football. That's not what they're first known, is passing it. And the proof is in the pudding on who wins football games on a regular basis. And right now, hey, if it evolves to where it shows up that they'll win Super Bowls and AFC Championship, I'm all for it now. I'll suck it up. But until then, they haven't shown me shit in the NFL, except you can win a meaningless game in the regular season. I mean, Lamar Jackson has a 70% winning chances, so that's good, right? That's great, right, Bryce? Oh, but if Jimmy Garoppolo has a 70%, he's nobody. He sucks. Listen, I ain't buying that fact. I'm going to go more. You know why I go Jimmy Garoppolo? Because that guy will stand in the pocket first, and maybe even take a hit. But
and
we're
lose
not
the game for you and make a ton of mistakes. Because
and running quarterbacks don't.
Look, when you talk about Lamar Jackson is a very unique animal because of the way he can run the football. But Sonny, to the Podfather's point, if your idea of a running
stop doing this. I'm never going to get him to shut up. That Bryce loves the Podfather. It's going to be horrible.
On the aesthetic of it. Like, you feel if a guy just can't take the shotgun and ran quarterback power like 20 times, then he's not a running quarterback. But Steve Young was scrambling and running around all day.
Steve Young was one of the best to do it. There hasn't been. Listen, there is no. I'll say that Lamar Jackson, Murray, any of them can't carry his jock playing that game. They're not. And by the way, Bryce, it's not even close. They can't carry Steve Young's jock. Steve Young knew when to do it. And by the way, Steve Young was known to run, but he was known as a pocket passer. You can't.
Well, he also had the best receiver on his team too.
Well, there you go. You're just proving my point. You're just proving my point. He throws it to Jerry Rice. He stays in the pocket and throws it to Jerry Rice. Listen, I'm not saying don't have running quarterbacks. I'm saying I wouldn't do it. Until somebody proves to me that it can be done on a regular basis. I'm sorry, you can win regular season games all day long. If you're going to discredit Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm going to discredit the guys that are running the football. I'm telling you, he wins 70% of his games just like Lamar Jackson. But, listen, all I'm saying is on a consistent level, Bryce, is when I want to see it more. And it's not in the regular season. We all know regular season doesn't mean jack. We just have a great time for 18 weeks to get to the playoffs to find out who wins a Super Bowl. And how many of them have won a Super Bowl? How many? I'll give you the answer. It's 0.
No, because to me, guys that extend plays with their legs and can run and throw from the pocket have won a multitude of Super Bowls.
That's
being one of them. Patrick Mahomes being another one.
Extend the play is one thing before they're known for running the football.
They're not. Those guys, for their time, were considered guys who could run with the football. Lamar Jackson, but outside of Lamar Jackson, every guy you mentioned, Kyler Murray, can throw it from the pocket. Justin Fields, when set up properly, can throw it from the pocket.
How successfully? I mean, outside of Lamar Jackson, which, by the way, that guy can throw the football. I admitted that last year.
Time out.
No, time out. Wait a second. I'm not done.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Sonny,
go ahead. I've lost track now of what I was going to say.
Sonny, what are we deeming as success here? That they got to win a Super Bowl? That's it?
No, win big games. Win big games in the playoffs.
Okay.
Win big games in the playoffs. Okay. It's a handful of time.
Sonny,
a handful of time.
Calm the fuck down, okay? You're driving me crazy. Listen.
Blood pressure.
You got your hands going crazy and stuff.
Father, I got him. Was Steve McNair running quarterback?
Well, he had to run from his wife.
Right. Was Steve McNair running quarterback?
He ran.
Probably not. But he is an example of one of the better ones that had done it. By the way, did he win? And I'm asking because I can't remember. Did he win the Super Bowl? Did he? I don't think he won. I think the year they went, I thought they lost.
He went to a Super Bowl, came this close to winning.
Yeah, that close. I understand, but
it'd be because he's not a success, right?
But no. Again, how many have made the playoffs? I mean, the Super Bowl. How many running that you would consider? Go back, open up later on. Here's my assignment for you. Later on, open up a Wikipedia, put in Super Bowl, go through every Super Bowl, find out who that quarterback was, and you tell me how many are considered a running quarterback. And I'll do the same thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, the running Super Bowl, the quote unquote running quarterback, the pocket passers are going to be the one that, even for the last 5 years or 6 years, when we're talking about that type of quarterback, they're not there. They haven't won it. They might have been there, but they haven't won it. Jalen Hurts is another one. Listen, this is a guy that I think if it's going to break the mold, Bryce, if it's going to break the mold, it's not going to be Lamar Jackson. It's going to be Jalen Hurts.
They all can throw from the pocket, Sonny. You're making it either or.
Listen, we're not arguing if they can't throw the football. I'm telling you what they're known for. Listen, what they're known for. And if you think that I'm going to sit here and without taking a blood test or drug test and saying Lamar Jackson's a pocket passer, I'm not going to buy it. And neither
no.
of the people are NFL.
What they're known for is based more on aesthetics than it is actual facts. The actual facts are that they are quarterbacks that can dictate and be pocket passers. Those are the facts because the numbers.
In college, they got it all day long in college. Guess what? The NFL's a different monster, and you all know. That's why it takes 2 or 3 years for a real quarterback to develop in the NFL, more so than a Justin Field who's developing with their running game. So
look at Lamar Jackson's aggregate numbers from the pocket. They are very good.
Listen. Lamar Jackson, I'm not arguing with you with Lamar Jackson. I said that he can throw the football. So can Jalen Hurts. The guy down in Arizona, that guy I can outthrow him in the NFL. All right. So, what I'm saying is when you are looking at the game and what they are, they
Okay, hold on a second. You with me here, guys? Okay.
Huh?
Cam Newton, was he successful?
No, and he was a running quarterback. Stop making my point.
Did he not go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he went, and by the way, got their asses blown out.
But did he go to the Super Bowl, sir?
So what? He went to the Super Bowl.
So
Cam Newton and who else?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
I know he opened up the Wikipedia when I told him to go there and look around, and he's going there, and he's realizing it took it to get to Cam Newton 5 years ago to get a running quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Actually, he was number 2 on the list. The number 1 was Michael Vick. Look, here's the thing.
And he was known for a pocket passer.
Sonny, shut up. Frank Tarkenton, was he a success?
What? Michael Vick?
No, Frank Tarkenton. Was he a success? He went to 4 Super Bowls with the Vikings. Was he a success? They didn't win.
Who?
Frank Tarkenton. He ran.
Listen. You're insane. Fran Tarkenton could run. He was a pocket passer. I'm sorry.
He had over 3,000.
I'll tell you what, Randy Galloway here in Texas say. Watch the damn games. Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you watch the History Channel then, sir? Because he ran for over 3,674 yards. Okay. He had. Let's see. He averaged 5.4 yards a carry. He ran for 32 touchdowns, sir. Many quarterbacks don't run for 32 touchdowns. I'm just saying. By the way, he's ran for 32 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson only had 28. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but once again, Bryce, you got the right idea. Just I'll sit back and read books now.
It's almost insane that you even mentioned.
What camera are we on, by the way?
That's okay. The reason why, by the way, the reason why I strap in is because I need to get oxygen up into this brain every once in a while.
You don't have any right now, so go ahead.
I can't believe the boss puts up with this nonsense.
No, the boss agrees with me.
And
by the way, just so that
the boss lives in Springfield, Illinois. He don't have to listen to him only on Sunday like you guys.
Listen,
this is true.
Hey, DC, look.
Me and my brother Fred. Listen. My brother is under some misconception that I didn't think that Frank Gore was going to make the Hall of Fame because I know he is. Okay, I'm just saying I don't think he's deserving. So, but it is what it is.
DC, how you didn't think?
By the way, where were we?
At an earlier age, we'll have no idea. Okay,
Godfather. None of those quarterbacks we mentioned, they just were pocket passers. They weren't runners. They never used their legs.
Bryce, I'm not saying
because they were known
run the book.
But Sonny wants to act like. You know what else Sonny is doing? He's being very selective. He's acting like general aesthetics of how the position is supposed to look doesn't play into who gets considered.
Because in his mind,
All I
in
know
his
is I'm
mind,
glad he went to the doctor last week, and he says he's
I did
got
go-
female health.
Yeah,
It didn't work.
I got my
You
new
have the
blood
dosage.
pressure pills.
Up the dosage. Listen. Look. Here's the thing. We can
Defibrillator.
throw out 100 names of quarterbacks who are somewhat successful.
Oh my
No, no.
God. You guys are insane. I am not saying that the quarterbacks don't scramble. Okay. But they're not known. Listen, I'm sorry. If you can't
Steve Young was known as a scrambling quarterback.
separate the ones that scramble
And the one that's
on,
run?
you know,
What's
on
the-
occasion and maybe sometimes a lot, and you can't separate them from pocket passing, I can't help you. Okay, it's somewhere over the rainbow, but I can get over the rainbow. You guys are stuck that you know where it is. These quarterbacks can run the football. They're just not that guy.
I can't hear you over this loudmouth talking.
Podfather, Sonny Clark is talk about not evolving. Sonny Clark only believes you are considered a running quarterback if you're running quarterback counters and powers. Those are the running. Everyone else that scrambles around, runs around to make plays, they're not running quarterbacks. They're just moving, but they do it from the pocket.
Listen,
Come on,
listen,
Bryce. The
li-
frequency
listen,
of them doing
Listen,
it compared to what is going on.
when Michael Vick took the quarterback position and evolved it to being a running quarterback, that's what Sonny's going off of. Okay, and I'm fair enough. Michael Vick's got his own issues to deal with. That's fine. He was still for a shitty team. He was a really good quarterback. He made things happen.
Wait. I'm not saying. Whoa.
Honey,
you guys are insane. Hold on. No, Podfather. You just said that I didn't think that they were any good. I'm saying they're not the traditional quarterback. I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson is not good. He is good. Okay, but I'm talking about the thing that gets you up and over and being the superstar and what you're known for.
Michael Vick wasn't a superstar until he started fighting dogs. Michael Vick wasn't a superstar until he started having dog fights.
No, Michael Vick was never. Listen, okay, we can argue this point all day long. Okay,
I don't really want to.
Michael, sure. Michael Vick was a good. Michael Vick was a good quarterback. If you think he's great, congratulations.
I don't think he was great. I'm just saying he was good for the time that he was there.
The difference between good and great is the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Good, where most of these guys will ever end up will be Hall of Good. Okay. So much so that there's a debate about the Donovan McNabb. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Some people don't think he should. Listen, I've even gone to the point where I think he should be. The problem is a lot of people look at him, and I always kind of thought Donovan McNabb was that pocket passer. He was the guy that would make the decision on when he was going to do it. Listen, if you can't see the difference between a Donovan McNabb and what's that cat in Chicago, you've lost it. Oh, you got to go, Bryce? Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Cuervo's very smart. He's probably staying away from that.
Probably around 12:30, but because we're almost there. But look, no, is he exactly like Donovan McNabb? No, but Donovan McNabb was considered a running quarterback.
I would probably say that.
Yes, he was. And he was outstanding from the pocket.
But why is he not? Listen, I'm going to make it official. I think Donovan McNabb should be in there's outside, and it wasn't because of his running ability. Okay, listen, it's hard to get to an NFC championship, let alone 5, right? Think about that. I mean, this one was, and more in the fact that they
that had no
necessarily Super Bowl. In reality, they didn't win it, and it's mean that T.O. was hurt, and
he was there. Outside of T.O., Donovan was their offense, running and throwing.
Exactly, and listen,
he had a solid defense too.
Why is he not in the Hall of Fame, Bryce? Why?
I don't know.
Is this 5 years? Is this 5 years up here?
What people look at as far as Donovan McNabb are concerned, they look at him as a running quarterback, and you can say what of the stigma that you want. Once you get that, it's hard to shake it.
But that doesn't mean it's true. That doesn't mean it's true. It's just a stigma. That doesn't mean it's true. The facts don't bear it out.
Well, the facts say there's been one running quarterback that won a Super Bowl. That's what facts say.
Which quarterback is that?
I forget which one. I just because when I did this research, years back, there was one that you can consider a running quarterback, and it might have been the one that Podfather mentioned. No, it wasn't him. They didn't win.
No, they didn't win.
One was
Roger Staubach won. He was a running quarterback.
Did you just say? Maybe I just misheard you. Did you say Roger Staubach was a?
He had run for his life back in the day, so that counts.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, next game up on board because that has got. I love you, Podfather. I would punch you in the face right now with a nice wrestling right in front of you. You went to sleep. He came on this show and said that Roger Staubach was a running quarterback.
How many concussions did he have?
I
wish I had some alcohol. I'm not driving. I wish I had some alcohol. I'd be pounding.
This is the boss's fault because Sonny, the boss should have smacked you back to reality a long time.
He should have smothered you in the crib a long time ago, sir.
Listen, the boss agrees with me. He won't publicly say it, but the boss agrees with me.
Oh, give me shit.
I'm telling you. Anyway, I got you. What? The Bears already played. By the way,
I'm exhausted now.
We got to change the subject
I
because
gotta go to work pretty soon. I'm exhausted.
we got to change the subject because I'm going to get on Frank Gore in a minute.
You got a perfect example of what it means to strap in. There you go.
Well, since I only got Bryce for a couple more minutes, so we lost Dick Butkus. There it is, Dick Butkus.
Yeah. Oh,
Dick Butkus. I wanted to get your take up on it.
By the way, Dick Butkus was not the reason they won that fucking football game.
Oh, I know.
What?
The death of Dick Butkus was not the reason why the Bears beat Washington.
Right.
Oh, okay. But I wanted to get. All right.
They were due.
They were due.
I don't know what. I'm not sure what you're talking about, DC.
I'm talking about Chicago winning that game.
Oh, on Thursday. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I listen. There's something about emotion that can get you going. Dick Butkus being, I mean, what they got the Hall of Team. What do they call it? For teams retired their numbers.
The Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dick Butkus' Ring of Honor. Bryce, I don't know if you know much about Dick Butkus or what it is, but the legend of what he is. I wanted to get your take up on Dick Butkus.
I'll say this before I get out because I have to be out in a couple minutes.
Right.
Dick Butkus might be of all time. I consider Dick Butkus to be maybe the best linebacker of all time before I saw Mike Singletary and now Ray Lewis. But Dick Butkus, top 5. I think Jack Ham might be one of them.
Oh, Jack Ham, that's a good one.
Just because of their unique athleticism, particularly in the
By the way, see that story. It's a sad story on Jack Ham. Go ahead.
Yeah, but but Dick Butkus is one of the all-time great football players ever. And in terms of middle linebackers, top 5, easy. I put him up there. Him, Mike Singletary, Ray Lewis. That right there is my 3 kind of triumvirate. You can put them in any order. But Dick Butkus was an amazing football player. And I mean, an all-time great football player.
He's a man, a jammer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, by the way, I have to leave here pretty soon too because I gotta go to work. So just real quickly, and just so Bryce can hear the unbiasedness of my opinion on this, I do think the 49ers do beat the Cowboys tonight. Unfortunately, I think it'll be 31-28. I think it'll be close, but I do think
it's gonna be a good game.
It should be a good game. It should be a good game. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping to pick that I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling that home field advantage is going to really kick in for San Francisco, and it's all about Dak. If he throws picks, they're going to lose. If they play from behind, they're going to lose. But if they get ahead of the game and they stay ahead of the game, they'll definitely win the scene overall. But they got to get there first. They're talking about an uphill battle with Brock Purdy, with the runner, with Christian McCaffrey, with a Nook up there at the wideout. With if they ever throw to their tight end again, George Kittle, that'd be great because I can use him for my fantasy points. So I mean,
They'll just score a touchdown, guys.
Hold on,
There
guys.
you go.
1 second.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's all I'm going to say. Sonny, it's been fun. It's always fun arguing with you because that's what we do. So, and once again,
and all the fun.
And by the way, I wasn't already pissed off when I got on the show. You made me even more pissed off. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. So that, I mean, at first I have to deal with Nate the Great. Now I got to deal with Sonny the Loud.
Here we go. Here we go.
But
Bryce, you witnessed having to strap in on the roller coaster. You witnessed it.
I was doing it. I was doing it on my own last week. Trust me.
Yeah, he kind of got a little bit
over
of it
over the same conversation too. Apparently, listen, Bryce, it's a pleasure to see you again, sir. Once again.
Oh,
one of my favorites.
Hey, by the way,
The ass kissing that's going on in this room is incredible.
by the way, Sonny, your rant was so long, I baked a brownie cake.
Oh, there you go. You got dessert out of it. There you go.
Time out. What kind of brownies?
What kind of brownies, then?
I just made a brownie mix and put Hershey's chocolate chips on top of it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to party. Okay. Okay, that's going to be it for me. I'm out of here, guys.
Be good. Good. Always good to see you, even though you're insane, but I love you anyway. Oh, I love it. I love going on rants. I love going on rants with my guys. So
I know you do. I've got to head on out too, Sonny. But
Bryce,
I will leave you with this. You definitely need to go get tested, and the boss needs to stage an intervention for you because you have gone off the rails.
They've had a padded room ready for him for a couple years now.
Padded room, yeah. There we go. I got to go down to Arizona to get into it, but there you go.
Bryce,
always good to see you.
This nonsense.
By the way, you got a concert this week you're going to that you're going to put up?
I do
something
not.
This week. Okay. Well, I enjoy. Listen, I actually enjoy watching some of that stuff. So the more you post, the better. Always good to see you, my friend. And good luck and keep that smile going. So
always, Sonny. Show was amazing today. So much fun. Always great to come.
Fun is the definition of what it is because it wasn't intelligent at all, but it was fun.
On my end, it's always intelligent.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So you're the intelligent one.
I'm on your end.
I got the vein right here, so I'm in good shape.
All right, guys.
Good to see you. Bryce in Brooklyn. I am definitely that one's going to be one for the archives. I'm gonna go cut that one up. I might even post it. How funny that is! So much fun talking football. Now that being said, DC, you and me are the ones that will end this one out. So we're going to go on what we call rapid fire because we got 30 minutes left to go and many football games to talk about.
Well, so I wonder why we only have 30 minutes.
Listen, that's what this show has been about. You see, the problem is you haven't joined in enough to understand that that's what happens on this show. it's week in and week out. So, it's a lot of fun.
All right, let's rapid fire this motherfucker.
Let's rapid fire. New Orleans takes on New England. This one here, I've seen a lot of splits on. A lot of people going New Orleans. I've seen a lot of people going on the Patriots number, and I won't bore you with the numbers like I do, a lot there for DC because we are. But a lot of them are on the New Orleans side as far as whether it's offensive, defensive.
And I'll tell you why. New England is not getting coached.
Really?
I think so. They're very weak. They look like somebody that had sprained an ankle and can't get up.
Well, I think I'll agree with you to a certain point. Okay. But right now, what you're against good football teams, even bad football teams, I can see that. But where I'm looking, as far as this game was concerned, I'm looking on the defensive side of the ball. Defense is going to win this game, I think, based upon it right now, even though Mac Jones or whoever's going to be the quarterback. Okay. I don't even care who's going to be the quarterback. I think that defense is really strong for the Patriots. And with the fact that I don't know if we're going to get Carr back at the quarterback today, don't matter. I think they're going to go the backup, and I think the defense is going to win for each side. That's going to be because both quarterbacks, especially if they're the backups, they're not all that great. Even the starters are not all that great. Even Derek Carr, I mean, he's already shown that he's not putting it together quite yet in New Orleans. I think I'm going to go up on I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one. Who do you have?
I've got New Orleans.
New Orleans Saints.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, listen, I think I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying they can't win. I just something about this game. Plus, they're in New England. There's no weather issues up there. It's going to be wide open for everybody. Beautiful day, 62 degrees, perfect for football weather coming in the NFL. I think this one will be entertaining more so than most that are out there. And Cuervo, I stopped listening with the Steelers. What is it? There's a message in our chat about going off on who's running quarterbacks. Anyway, that being said, so I'm on the Patriots today. Good, bad, or indifferent. As far as that is concerned. Next game up on board is Philadelphia and the Rams. Rams that are 2-2, which, by the way, they've won some games that maybe they shouldn't have. In other words, DC got lucky. The Eagles, they're 4-0. They're going to LA. I think this is that sleeper game for the Eagles. If they don't come to play, this one can come back and snap up a little bit later. What's your take up on this one as the Eagles are taking on the Rams?
Well, what can you say? I think Philadelphia is on a roll, and I think they're going to keep rolling.
Well, they've been on a roll, even with the lack of players that they had last year that were winning football games. This year, they're finding ways, which I think
that's just it, finding the way. They're bringing in their second stringers, and they're playing well with them. So
and losing the superstars, they're playing well. Hey, 4-0 is 4-0. It don't matter if you win by a half a point. You still got that tick underneath the W side. And I think they go with 5-0 today as they take on the Rams. The Arizona Cardinals and the Bengals. Arizona is like it's like you got a great big pot and you're throwing all kinds of controversy in. You just start stirring it, and going back to their quarterback woes, and so much so, and some people are talking they're going to move him at the end of this year because they were just stuck with him because of an injury. He'll be 100% healthy for them to get rid of next year. And the Bengals, you got that situation with your quarterback not playing up the snuff, but it is the Arizona Cardinals, and I just don't see really in reality how they get into this one to get the victory.
No way.
Yeah, no way. Which makes me want to change my pick. No, I'm just saying the Bengals up on top of it. And now in a tough game here to pick. The Jets, the Jet.
Oh,
Jets,
man, this was
Jets,
the hardest
Jets.
one of the
They
week.
go to. Oh my gosh, they go to Denver to take on the Broncos, and these teams are almost mirror images of each other. I mean, except for the fact that they're going to have their starting quarterback. And by the way, I think if I'm not mistaken, it is in Denver. Oh no, it is in Denver. So that being said. The Jets, as much as I love the effort that we saw from Zach Wilson last week, he's just not a good quarterback. And you can sit there and argue it all day long. He's just not good. And the problem is Denver is not a good football team. So you get the combination of what's going on. Parts of me wanted to pick the Jets because the defense, and you saw it last week, even though they didn't get the win last week, you saw that defense that was there for the Jets. Yep. And parts of me wanted to pick the Jets for this game in reality. But when you go to different altitudes, it changes almost everything when you go into Denver. And even still parts of me wants to make that change, but I don't know if I can make the change enough to go ahead and
come on, Michael, you can make the change.
I'm right now. I'm on Denver, but but here's the funny thing about that: it's a 1.5 point spread. Man, I'm parts of me wants to go ahead. I'm not going to do it, But parts of me wouldn't be surprised if the Jets figured out how to win that game up there. So who do you got in this one?
I've got the Jets.
Got the Jets. Good defense. Good defense.
And Denver hasn't shown me nothing.
Slowly, and just by stat wise, slowly you see a little Wilson getting a little bit better. But this defense is going to be in his face all day long. And I'm half insane picking the Broncos, but I'm going to pick the Broncos. And knowing that, it, again, wouldn't surprise me if the Jets get by. Now, Kansas City Chiefs, they are taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
No-brainer.
It's pretty much a no-brainer because 1-3 Minnesota, if their crap was together, they should have the same record as Kansas City. But the problem is Kirk Cousins not delivering the ball to Justin Jefferson, who is a little dinged up, or finding his other guys that help him. And that part has not been successful. Never mind Brian Flores' defense is not putting it together for a full 60 minutes out on the football field. That's the reason why I'm going Kansas City. You Kansas City too?
Yep.
Dallas and San Francisco. 3-1 Dallas Cowboys, 4-0 San Francisco at home.
The pod father on this one. He just can pray they're going to win.
Yeah. You know, if Dallas is going to become the team that everybody seems to think that they should be, which is that playoff team, Super Bowl win, they got to win this game. And I just don't see how it happens. And it's more in the fact the turnover machine, unfortunately, that is Dak Prescott. It's going to come into play today. There'll be two picks for the San Francisco 49ers. They beat them. I say they beat them by 10. And the line's even closer than that. And I don't know how. But and Monday Night Football is, oh my God, I might just watch a show and just keep this one on a TV screen. Green Bay and Las Vegas. I right now I'm on Green Bay, but that can change once I start studying. I have not studied this one because this one is such a bad football, and it's a bad Monday Night Football game. In reality, even Green Bay being on Monday Night Football with a no quarterback and Jordan Love, they need to switch this. The Dallas Cowboys should be on Monday Night Football, and Green Bay and Las Vegas, they should flex that, make it Sunday Night Football. But right now I'm on Green Bay. Who you got?
Well, I've got Green Bay too, but I'm not proud of either one of them.
I might change my pick. I might change, and that one, I might change. But as of right now, I'm on Green Bay. You got 5 minutes before. There might be something that comes down that just makes me turn the page and goes to Las Vegas on it. But the only reason I would pick Las Vegas, part of it would be is they're at home, but they're a horrible home team as well. So I don't even know what to think half the time on them.
Well, you'd be bad too if you were in Las Vegas and had to go to a game after a long night of fucking partying.
Well, I got I don't know. I don't think we would see too much of that per se. Maybe the local guys that live there maybe might be able to do that. But
most of the local boys have big houses; they can have their own party.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, so we went ahead rapid fire. We talked about all the games here today. It's the reason why we can do that, especially during there's 4 less games this week than they have been all year long. So kind of the way that it worked out. So, but we're going to end a little bit early, mainly because I need to make some coffee. And second of all, get ready for the games. And by the way, who won the Jacksonville game? Let's find out.
It's still on. Let me look here real quick.
Right now,
I think
it's 11-7.
Your boys are going to get this one, I think.
I know it's 11-7. They're a touchdown. The Buffalo Bills are
25-19 right now, and there's 2 minutes left in the game.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Wow, that would be a big upset. I think in reality, I'd love to see him win.
There's only somebody's on an island on this game, and they're going to win.
Yeah, Impact right now is on that.
Yeah, well, Impact ain't got much impact anyway, so it's
so that just like you and your island game on Thursday night having the Bears, but hey, it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way,
just for the record, I think what happened with that Bears game is I clicked the wrong damn button.
Well, hey, sometimes.
so it worked out. But
Yeah, it worked out. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Join us. We're going to slide off here a little early because we had less games to talk about, but we had a great conversation with Bryce, and running quarterbacks love it. I'm going to download it and I'm going to post it. It's so much fun. We're out of here, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.